that, I thought he was much better than he is.
So is he
But
not going to come back and play at all?
I don't know that.
Okay.
Right now, I know he's a recovering alcoholic too.
Okay.
So
No.
he's been many years straight, but I think he's got some other issues that he's trying to work out.
Yep. So I'm not going to get into the details of that for sure, but
Me neither.
and the only reason I'm asking is because Jacob, you're going to have your choice then. You want to play because I don't see Gage yet. I won't say he's not going to pop up, but I'll give you the option of which one you want to play because the other one becomes a zombie, for lack of a better term.
Other one becomes a zombie. Which one is more important for the emerging scene, like as a vocal character?
I think both of them really, because I mean, Gage is your standard fighter magic user type, and of course Hakon is the paladin.
Well, I don't mean combat. I mean like in terms of story wise, like which one would it
Really,
be more
we
important to
haven't.
have their voice
I
in the
don't.
scene?
I don't think either one would matter. To be honest with you, it's just a preference on what you want to play.
Okay. I will take Gage because I have already prepped for his character
Okay.
and read through their backstory and everything else.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say Gage has been more vocal within the party, but I think
Yeah.
I've involved Hakon a little more in the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So I just switched ownership, and Hakon will be sort of the zombie.
Zombie paladin it is.
Zombie paladin it is. All right. I just want to do a quick. All right. So it says I'm streaming. Why is it not? There we are. Weird. It didn't pop up. Turn my volume up here a little bit. Somebody want to give me a sound check so I can make sure you guys are coming across the stream?
Testing 1 2 3.
Testing
1 2 3.
Testing 1 2 3.
1
Testing,
2
1
1
2 3.
2. How's it going, everyone? Hope you're having a good day. How's it going, everyone?
All right, looks like it's coming through. Sweet, let's start the stream. Kick this thing off and get it going. Been way too long.
Baby.
So before you start,
And there we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to tonight's episode of Agora Quest, our Savage Tide campaign, episode number 4. Can you believe it? We made it to 4 episodes already. It's only taken us about 3 months to do it, but damn it, we got to episode number 4. And I really apologize for all the things that have been going on or going sideways or stuff that ends up happening where we don't have a game. Our last session was April 17th, so yeah, it's been a month. But I really appreciate you guys being able to come and hang out with us on a Thursday. Normally, this is the day that I am gaming in my house with my face-to-face game, but my son and daughter-in-law decided that they wanted to take my life savings and go on a honeymoon to Italy, and so he's not here. And one of my other players is missing. And those that know me know if I have 2 players out, then I usually don't stream because I don't mind having one guy out, but 2 out can be a little problematic sometimes. So here we are. Tonight we have 2 players out, but we're playing. But unfortunately, we have our substitute gamer, for those that know, Cora, i.e. Jacob, i.e. Nilo, from our...
Hello.
Parrot Island Adventures, or whatever the hell it was we called it after Parrot Island Adventures. But I appreciate you guys showing up tonight on a Thursday. We're streaming tonight because still have some family things going on. Well, we're going to run the mom down to our cousin's place tomorrow afternoon, and then the wife and I are going to go hang out a weekend with the grandbabies. And so we decided, hey, let's do that. And so just so I didn't have to cancel another game, I asked our players, more like begged our players, if they wouldn't mind playing tonight. And many agreed because that way we get Friday off. But regardless of why we're here, we appreciate you being here. If you're new here, welcome. Old hands, welcome back. I see Paul out there. Paul is Mulgar from our Age of Worms campaign, our first edition game on Monday. So, Paul, we appreciate you swinging by and coming to check out how the other half lives. That's a 1E game, which is pretty cool. It's fun, man. Actually, really fun. But anyway, don't forget, as you watch the stream, you can earn tokens. You can trade those tokens in for Nat 1s or Nat 20s. Just let us know who it's for, and I will make sure that I annotate it on that character's notes that I've got for them. Those only last for the stream that you donate them, unless some extenuating circumstance happens and I carry it over. But as of right now, nobody has anything. No Nat 1s, no Nat 20s, no nothing. However, if you want to be so kind as to cheer and help a party out, for every 200 bits that you cheer, you can grant an advantage to the player of choice, or your humble DM will always be willing to accept your generosity. Those do carry over from stream to stream, because if you're going to spend your hard-earned coin to help support the stream, which, by the way, everything that comes into the stream goes back into the stream somehow, whether it's hosting services, content, some of the Patreons that I subscribe to get some of their content like maps and VTT stuff, all that good stuff goes right back into the stream. So anyway, for every 200 bits you cheer, you can grant advantage to the player or DM. Just let us know who it's for, and those do carry over from stream to stream. Right now, Edelbrock has 2, Gage has 1, and Mormont has 1. And all that means is, even if you have advantage for something else, you have another one based on that. And so if you have 10 advantages and you roll a dice roll and you suck at it and it takes you 3 tries, but you've got a bunch of advantages, you can burn one after the other right through all of them until you use them all, or get whatever you need. Forge has a Nat 20. I'm assuming that Paul's out there dropping stuff. Yeah, of course he is. Paul's here because he knows how bad these dice can roll. Yeah, we beg and plead on our 1E game. And if those that watch it, you know what we're talking about. Guys like Bowman, who plays Renoir, who is a priest of Tritherion. He can't hit the side of a barn to save his life. It's absolutely hysterical. But when he needs to roll low,
rolled.
when he needs to roll low, he gets a nat 20. When he needs to get a nat 20, he gets a nat 1. It's just, dude, you couldn't time it any more perfectly. But anyway, bottom line is, for every 200 bits you cheer, you can do that. Obviously, we also love subscriptions if you like to do that to help support the stream. But if you're not one that likes to or wants to worry about whether or not something's recurring and trying to manage all that, we have a tip jar. Go to our homepage at twitch.tv/AgoraQuest. Go to our tip jar, and you can just donate a one-time donation. I think the minimum is like $5 or something like that. But the bottom line is it's a one-time thing. And the best part about it is Twitch doesn't get its grubby little fingers on it. If you have subscriptions and cheers and all that stuff, Twitch takes half. But if you do a donation through a tip jar, it all goes to the content provider minus a little processing fee. And we've gotten a few of those, including one from Cora at one time, if I remember correctly. Cora gave us a Christmas gift. Very much appreciated. And like I said, took a 2% hit as opposed to a 50%. I'll take that all day long. So even if you're not donating to us, if you got a favorite content provider, I encourage you to do that on them. Let's talk about where we are. Our party is in the port town of Sasserine, which is along the southern Azure Sea. If you were familiar with Greyhawk, it's in the south, around jungles. In fact, it is a jungle town sitting right on the northern edge of the jungles. And thank you, Sir Paul. Speaking of 200, Mormont gets another advantage. Look at there. Look at there. Thank you, sir. So Mormont now has two, I say, advantages. Look at there. Everybody loves the goblin. Goblin these nuts, right? Is that what we were saying? That was called. What's that?
Oh man!
If you did not see that in the Discord,
I was gonna hear that out of you.
Oh, dude, come on! Seriously, 20 years in the Navy, that's the best that you're gonna hear. So, but anyway, we appreciate that, Paul. Mormont, you now have two advantages that you're able to use. So anyway, our party is in the port town of Sasserine, and they were hired by a lady by the name of Lavinia Vanderboren, whose parents died in a fire. They were shipping magnates, and they were getting ready to go break in one of their new vessels, and that vessel caught fire, and everybody on board died. And Lavinia ended up inheriting the family business. However, she found that while the mom and dad apparently at one time were very good adventurers and very good at that, they weren't too good at business because they owed back taxes, they owed fees for various things, and one of her vessels had been impounded by the port harbor master of Sasserine, and to the tune of 100 platinum pieces was owed. So Lavinia paid that, but whoever the harbor master had in control of the taking the boat refused to turn it back over to her. And so she hired the party to go, one, figure out what the hell these guys were doing with her boat, and two, to recover the 100 platinum pieces that she paid these guys. And lastly, there was a signet ring, a family heirloom ring that she needed that belonged to her father, because that ring is what gave her access to the family vaults beneath the city castle of Tartanian. And so the party did what was asked. They found out that this Valar Sark, who was essentially a thug, was using the Vanderboren boat for some ne'er-do-well stuff. And how well you say ne'er-do-well. And allegedly or apparently they were doing some sort of illegal trafficking of exotic animals, which is a no-go in the port town of Sasserine, especially with the jungle everywhere. There's all kinds of deadly creatures that can be found, and so the city, the Dawn Council, essentially has edicts saying that is not allowed. But these guys were doing it, and so the party stopped that. Had a couple incidents on the boat, but overall went well. They recovered not just the 100 platinum pieces, but they also recovered the family's signet ring and brought that back to Lavinia, and she then paid them for their services. And after that, she felt that they had done such a good job that she hired them to be sort of on retainer for 5 gold a month. I believe somebody in their notes has 5 gold a day, and it's not. It's 5 gold per month. And so she has asked the party now
Well,
to.
the goblin doesn't know the difference between
Yeah,
days and
I
months.
got you.
You know,
Yeah,
it's
yeah, we're
okay.
good. All right, we're all right. And so Lavinia has asked the party, "Hey, Snake, appreciate you, brother." So the party has accompanied Lavinia to the family vaults, and therein they gained access. They were assaulted by a creature known as an iron cobra, which is, think of a cobra made of like a clockwork cobra, if you will. The party finally managed to take down said cobra, and then searching the chamber, they discovered one of the pillars was actually set into the center of the north wall, so only half the pillar protruded, and it looked like just like the rest of the wall, where all the pillars were sort of built into the wall, and a couple of pillars raised up to support the wings to either side of the chamber. But on the north wall, they found that there was a hidden catch, and in flipping that catch, it opened a secret door into a vault chamber beyond. And that was where we essentially left off. There has been a couple other things that have been going on in town, in particular surrounding Mormont and Edelbrock. Mormont had a little escapade in the harbor master's or not the quarters, but his offices, doing a little bit of searching around. Found some things, didn't find some things, snuck in and snuck out, fortunately. And Edelbrock, along with Hakon, went back to Edelbrock's home, and his home is a little apartment in the back of the Last Ditch Lovers, which is a brothel over in Shadowshore. And there was a young girl who had been brought in there, and she's not one of the working girls, but she's more like a handy girl, serving drinks, kind of bartending, waitressing. Not a full-blown courtesian, of course. However, somehow she got tangled up with an individual and got beat up. And Edelbrock, one of his daily tasks is to kind of heal and take care of some of the girls who may have had rough customers. And when he discovered this, he sort of took care of her. He brought Hakon along to try to maybe help heal. Did a little digging around and find out that this young girl, whose name was Elvira Townsend, at some time last year, at the end of the Age of Worms, when the town was under siege, she had lived on a farm south of here, and something had happened that drove her into Sasserine and eventually into the hands of the madam of the Last Ditch Lover. But anyway, he discovered that a individual who was rumored to belong to a group known as the Lotus Dragons, who are an up-and-coming thieving group who's apparently trying to sort of stake their claim to the underworld here in Sasserine. And so he was doing a little digging, trying to figure out some stuff on that when last we met as well. But as I said, where it stands now, friends, family, co-workers, you are beneath the castle in town. I can never pronounce a name properly, so I'm not even going to worry about it. But that is where we are. As you guys, well, if I go and find my descriptions again here. I'm going to open, there we go. So as you, where you guys are right now, as you entered into the vault itself, you find yourself standing in a grand dome chamber that is both ancient and regal. The air itself is cool, but not cold and not warm. It's for those that are familiar with underground and cavern life, you know that over time, the underground sort of settles out to a constant temperature. So even though it's cold outside, it doesn't seep down here. And when it gets hot, it doesn't seep down either. So it's a sort of a constant cool. But the air itself is cool, dry, and heavy. The floor beneath your feet is crafted of polished green marble, its surface worn smooth by time, and yet it gleams slightly in the torchlight that flickers. Flanking the chamber are two alcoves, as I said, each one about 15 feet square, with a solid greenish stone pillar carved in the likenesses of swirling and slithering snakes that spiral upward to support the ceiling about 10 feet overhead. Now that's the alcoves. The center part where you guys are actually arches up to 15, maybe even 20 feet. And you can see that along the edge of walls, the angled walls, pillars go up and sort of support that portion of it. Directly at the top in the center of the ceiling is a strange 8-pointed star shape that you guys recognize as the same symbol that was on the two doors that led into this place that Lavinia had to place her signet ring into. And in the center of the star, she placed her signet ring and it unlocked the door. But you see that same symbol on the ceiling overhead in this outer chamber where you guys just got done fighting the snake. And then, like I said, after the fight, you opened up the doors and you can see that it leads into a chamber even further inward. But before we get any further, does anybody want to go over anything? Is there anything that we may have? And give me just a second here. I'm going to activate it and reactivate that map because I have it automatically loads the sounds and whatnot. So, and I didn't want to have to dig for which ones we were. So, bottom line is that is where we are right now.
Just to make sure I understood right, we are in the vault. We are in the Vanderboren vault.
That is
with
correct.
Vanderboren herself.
That is correct.
Okay, and we are looking through the vault for things that legitimize her claim to her property, correct?
So, sort of. So, she has a legitimate claim to the property. Every well-known or rich family uses the vaults under the castle of the city. It's kind of like where their banks are. This is where all they store all of their money and whatnot. The thing is that when her family died, she needed to get that ring to get down here because this is where the family fortune's supposed to be. She needs the money to pay off debts and all this other stuff. And so because you guys did such a great job helping her on the boat, she wanted you guys to kind of come along as her entourage while she comes down here and takes a look at the family treasure or the vault or whatever you want to call it. Right. So
that's
she's
right.
not.
She couldn't.
Yeah. Go ahead.
The team found the ring on the boat.
Correct.
Okay. And if I recall, I remember hearing something about how she could offer us more money because it was supposedly in the vault.
So she offered the party 200 gold if they returned her 100 platinum pieces. As a bonus, if you returned the ring from the boat, she was to give you additional 100 gold. So at the end of the first adventure, when you guys got back from the boat, before you even come down to this vault, she gave everybody 300 gold pieces.
Okay.
So everybody already has the 300 gold.
So we're just here just to chill with her then at that point.
Essentially, she doesn't know what to expect down here. She's been down here, but it's been ages because she came down as a little girl with her father. And of course, as a little girl, she didn't really pay attention to what's going on. But now she has a little more riding on it. So you guys are sort of her hired security detail as she comes down here to see just what did the family leave her. And of course, you guys fought the Iron Cobra, so she's extremely happy she brought you with. Although, if you recall during the combat, somebody noted that the Iron Cobra was doing its damnedest to stay away from Lavinia. It was coming nowhere near her, but it was going after y'all. Yeah, who did? Who was it?
Forge.
Yep, Forge had noticed that the Iron Cobra was avoiding Lavinia.
She has the ring. We don't have any identification that would put us with her. Yeah, that makes
quite
sense.
Quite possibly, but as of right now, not 100% sure.
We don't know that. Only Forge would know anything even close to that. Okay.
Quick question. Did we have a short rest?
Have not. Not since the combat. No, we are literally picking up right at the end of the combat, as you guys.
I asked because my pack magic is used, but I have all my cantrips showing.
So we could just go with that because I was having issues with the module and I had to reset it and stuff. So everybody probably has all their cantrips reset. So we'll just go with it. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Yep, look like mine are all there.
Yeah. Even though you guys may have used some of the cantrips and stuff, and by the way, Cora, you may or may not have seen, but I have a module that tracks your cantrips and stuff. So if you want to cash in cantrips for a leveled spell, you just click the little icon next to where it says the cantrips, and it'll pop up, and it'll let you know how much it costs to trade cantrips for different levels. And I'm going to work on a mod for the warlocks on that. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with it's going to give you the option for it's going to, when it tells you how much it costs to trade in a cantrip for a leveled spell, whatever the base level of the spell is. So if it's a first level spell, it'll cost you however many cantrips to convert it at that level, or some math thing like that. Maybe half the level of the spell that you're a 5th level caster, or you cast spells at 5th level. So the cost to trade in a cantrip for a spell is a lot. There's going to be some sort of a prorated thing that says, hey, this is actually a 1st level spell. It should only cost 3 cantrips, not 15, because you're casting it as a 5th level person. Anyway, I don't want to get into the technical details of that, but
I mean, if you want to do that, that's fine, but I'm fine with paying the higher rate anyway because my spells are being casted at a higher level.
Yep. But eventually you won't be able to trade any in because you won't have enough. Anyway, we can talk about that. So bottom line is, you guys currently stand now in the antechamber that leads into the vault. The door itself is open, but nobody has yet to progress into the vault. And that is where we're going to start tonight's episode.
Down and so I'm going to let the dwarf go.
Okay.
I have no problem with that.
As you step into, are you able to step in? Or is it blocking?
No, it won't let me.
You know why?
It's blocking.
Yeah, it's probably because I made the walls. I put it's kind of like an invisible wall around it. So give me just a second. All right. Why is it not letting me delete? Well, that's kind of fun. Let's do this. Yeah, it's weird. It's like I'm trying to delete and it's not letting me delete the. That's hilarious. How about we try this? There we go. It is literally not letting me delete any of the wall stuff. How cool is that? I can do this. All right, hang on. I'm going to refresh this here real quick. I'm sorry, guys. I had an invisible wall on there so that people wouldn't walk through it, acting like a secret door. And I opened up the wall mod, and it's like not letting me change.
I hate the way Forge does that. And whenever someone types, it just zooms all the way
Oh,
into that
you know
character.
what? So really quick, if you go to the little gear wheel on the right hand side, and you go to configure settings, and you go to core, which is the very first one. As you scroll down, you should be able to see a thing that says enable chat bubbles, pan to speaker. Uncheck both of those, click save changes, and that'll stop happening.
Okay.
And that, I think, is a setting
I
for...
like the bubbles, but...
Yeah, I don't like chat. But yeah, you can, however you want to set it. So I don't like either one, so I am going to get rid of both.
That's fine.
All right, now I'm going to try this again.
Someone type for me real quick. Someone speak with text in the game so I can test it. Nice.
All right.
I can pass through.
Yeah, it's because I just removed the wall as you were doing it. The page refreshed. All right, guys, I'm sorry. Here we are. DM trying to be fancy dancy, and of course the DM is an idiot. All right, so as you step into the octagonal chamber, the air itself grows even more cool, and if you can believe it, more still, carrying with it a faint scent of aged stone and metal. A single massive pillar dominates the center of the room, its surface carved with dozens of deep, spiraling grooves that run from the floor to the ceiling like the threads of an enormous screw. The 7 walls surrounding you are adorned with breathtakingly detailed bas-relief carvings of monstrous creatures, each one frozen in a menacing pose as though ready to leap into life where you stand. Starting on the wall immediately to the west of the door and continuing clockwise, the carvings depict 1. A horrifying tentacled horror with a single glaring red eye and a mouth bristling with razor-sharp teeth. Wall 2 is a looming red dragon, wings half spread, jaws agape in a silent roar. Wall number 3 is a grotesque fish-like abomination with 3 eyes and 4 writhing tentacles. The next wall is a brutish 2-headed giant wielding a pair of immense spiked clubs. The next one is a spherical floating creature with 4 eye stalks and a large central eye set above a drooling toothy maw. The next one is a hulking gorilla-like beast with a fanged maw and 6 menacing eyes. And last but not least is a towering black spider, its legs splayed wide and 7 glittering eyes staring down at you. Each of the monster's eyes is formed from a polished, glittering red stone that catches the light with an almost hypnotic sparkle. Above you, the ceiling rises roughly 15 feet high. At its center, the now familiar 8-pointed star radiates outward from the top of the central grooved pillar. The arms of the star are carved in deep black stone, except for one arm, the one that's currently pointing south at the door you just came in, which is highlighted in a vivid red. The room feels strangely alive with latent magic and mechanical ingenuity, as though the very walls are watching and waiting for their secrets to be unlocked.
As a dwarf, do I notice anything about the stonework or the screw in the center?
What are we looking for? Tell me.
Like if it's an elevator or something, it's designed to take it up or down.
No, go ahead and give me an investigation.
While he's doing that, scanning the room, do I see any sort of like places that another snake can come out of?
Go ahead and give me a perception. Well, if you want, your choice. Perception if you're just a quick glance. Investigation if you're going to take a little time. So it doesn't look like any kind of an elevator you've ever seen. The floor itself looks fairly solid. You can see there is slight and I don't even say it's so tight, it's almost like it's not there, but it is a slight gap between the column and where it sets into the floor, right? So it's not like part of the floor or welded to the floor. So it looks like it possibly could spin, but it doesn't look like any kind of an elevator you've ever seen. And Gage, the room itself here looks completely empty. Other than what I've already described, you see nothing.
Yeah, I got 16 for the check on the snake.
Yeah, there's nothing. There's no holes anywhere. There's no openings that you guys can see. The only thing you see is this spiral carved pillar with the 8-pointed star at the top. 7 of the radiating arms are blackish stone, and the arm that's pointing toward the south door is a bright, vivid red.
Okay, you said there was a lot of eyes on this, so
Well, the creature,
something's important about the eyes.
Well, I was just going to say each one of the walls here has a different carving of a creature that I described, but all of the creatures, the eyes of, because it's a bas relief, it's not a painting, it's literally like carved into the walls and painted or shaped to look like the creature, but the eyes of every single one of these bas relief are a reddish crystal-like material that makes some sort of flicker in the torchlight.
And none of the images match anything that's on that piece of paper, right? No Chimera, Cyclops, Medusa, Umberhawk, or Basilisk.
Correct.
Are the eyes like looking at a certain point? Are all the eyes kind of looking the same way, or?
So
I think this is the combination. I just don't.
So it eerily, it's almost, you know how you got that picture of Jesus that hangs on the wall that it looks like his eyes are following you. You get that kind of an impression, although realistically the eyes aren't moving, the figures aren't moving, but the flickering of the light makes the eyes kind of glitter. So it's a little weird like that, but nothing like they're not following you or like they're alive or anything like that it looks like.
So this corkscrew thing in the center, is there anything that like screws up or down on it?
No, it doesn't. Yeah, it does not look like it. But give me an investigation check.
Would you like me to roll and you help me, or do you want me to help you?
17. I mean, you can help if you want.
That would give you advantage, then I'm helping you out with that.
Yep. So if you want to roll again to try to get higher, Edelbrock, just as roll advantage. So as you're looking at it, you realize it doesn't, nothing moves up and down on it, but it does turn.
Okay, so this is the combination. So somehow on the red piece of paper, so it turns left and right, right?
Yes, as you investigate it, it looks like you don't move it, but you see that you can get it. It takes a little bit of strength, but you're able to get it to turn a little bit one way and turn a little bit the other way as well. So, and as it turns, the 8-pointed star appears to be locked in at the top of it. So it, as the column turns, so does the little 8-pointed star.
Okay, I assume from standing in the doorway is west, the wall to the left.
That is correct.
So that would be sunset.
Yep.
Let's see.
You would be at sunrise.
Yeah. I just don't understand what these monsters are to these pictures.
I want to go over to the dragon and kind of just push on the jet of the eyes and just see if they move in like a button or not.
Yeah, no, they don't.
Are there any pictures within the eyes? You said they're kind of like gleaming or something, right?
So it's the only reason they gleam is because everything is carved out of stone into the walls, but the eyes are set with gems, well not with gems, but like reddish crystal.
You gave me
If I,
right?
I'm sorry, what?
if I may, real quick.
You gave me eye numbers. You were giving me eye numbers.
Yeah, just a second. Everybody got a nat 20. Donated from Cardman.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cardman.
Thank you, Card.
Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you.
I have an idea when you're finished counting the eyes.
All right, so really quick, before you get to that, let me go back to the description that I had.
Finish the thought.
Yep.
Get that out of the way.
All right. So the first creature to the left is a horrifying tentacled creature with a single glaring red eye. The second wall is a red dragon. The third wall is a grotesque fish-like abomination with 3 eyes and 4 writhing tentacles. The next one is a brutish 2-headed giant. The next one is a spherical floating creature with 4 eye stalks and a large central eye set above the toothy drooling maw. The next one is a hulking gorilla-like beast with a fanged maw and 6 menacing eyes. And the last one is a towering black spider with its legs spread wide and 7 glittering eyes staring down at you. So if you want to go in order, it goes literally 1 eye, 2 eye, 3 eye, 4 eye, 5, 6, 7. Yep.
If I may.
Go ahead, Gage.
Gage is going to look to Vanderboren. Ma'am, do any of these, she points to the various creatures, any of those mean anything to you, your family, perhaps stories, things your family has slain or confronted, or symbols that mean things to your house?
Lavinia sort of steps in and she looks. It has been many years since I have been in this place, and I can tell you most assuredly that none of these creatures have I ever seen or have ever heard my father or mother ever talk about. So as a child, I was never allowed into the inner vault. I remained outside with my mother, or sometimes my brother and I would keep each other company. But other than that, no. I do sincerely apologize.
Yeah, and the combination that we have, what are those creatures again? How many eyes does each one of those creatures have in that combination?
7. I think there's 7 sets total, correct?
Chimera would have 6.
Correct.
Have 6.
Cyclops has 1.
Medusa, I assume, only has 2, unless you count eyes on the snakes. I don't know how many Umber Hawk has, but I think a Balisc only has 2.
I think the Umber Hawk has like 7, like a spider. You see what I'm getting at?
Yes,
matching the eyes to the eyes that we have there.
I've never seen an Umber Hulky or
combination long. What happens?
You said we have a star in the center, right? The star remains stationary.
Spun with
is there anything on the star that is it a 7-pointed star or an
8-pointed? It's an 8-pointed star.
8-pointed star.
And you guys have seen this symbol before.
Hey, you said something about the star. Is it like an arrow pointing in a direction?
So, as I explained, it's an 8-pointed star. 7 of the arms of the star are black stone. One of them is pointed to the south where you entered currently, and it is made of red stone.
Yeah, so that's like arrow pointing.
And how tall is this pillar?
To one of these pictures.
About 15 feet, ceiling to floor.
So if the star moves when we turn the pillar, maybe turning the red stone to the correct combination or the right eyes will open whatever we need to figure out.
Okay, so that means this one would go left to number 6.
We need to know if there is a 7-digit combination that's important to their family. Something that you might glances over to Vanderboren, something you might have seen. Maybe it's on the ring, or maybe it's in the room.
But we've only got 5 combinations.
Yeah, maybe we don't need to hit every single picture. Anybody knows how many eyes a Basilisk has?
Would that be an Arcana or a Nature?
Can I do an insight check to see if I'm kind of onto something with the eyes and the turning of the star?
Yeah. Go ahead and give me a.
So would a Basilisk eyes thing be a Nature or an Arcana?
For the Basilisk, it will be an Arcana. Sorry about that, folks on the stream. I accidentally closed the. Here. Could come back in a second.
17. How many eyes is a Basilisk have?
So really quick, hang on a second. I got like 4 screens here. I'm trying to juggle here, and I keep messing up on. So first of all, Forge, you look and you sort of look at how many eyes the creatures have, and then you're sort of looking at the scrap of paper, and you have no doubt in your mind that there's a correlation between the number of eyes that a beast has on the sheet of paper is in some way related to the number of eyes on the creatures in the
in the room.
On the room, yes, thank you. And I am just checking something. So you wanted to know like how many eyes the Basilisk has? That's a good question. I don't know if it even says it in here or not.
I would say 2 on a Basilisk.
I'm looking. I need to look at I'm going to look at the sheet again. Did it not have? I'm sorry. I thought I had it on here, but it doesn't look like. On the scrap of paper, I thought there was more information than just that. I'm going to look and see just to make sure I didn't miss giving you guys some additional information that you should need.
I would think a Medusa has.
No, it's. I think it's good. And
you can in a combination. You can use a number.
Yeah, the Basilisk.
Twice.
Yeah, the Basilisk has 2 eyes. So that you do know.
Cyclops is 1, Basilisk is 2, Medusa should be 2. Umber Hulk, I think, as many like a spider.
You want to go ahead and give me another Arcana check?
Well,
I can take the Arcana check if you want to help.
Well, they're debating the eye count. I'd like to search around the edges of the wall and see if I can't find seams to a door.
Okay.
Just to get myself busy.
All right. Man, it's like all these dices are rolling, but nothing's showing up finally. So Gage, you've heard of Umber Hulks, and you recall that Umber Hulks have 4 eyes, but their way they're set is very strange and can cause confusion with people. So you read somewhere, never look an Umber Hulk in the eye, and that was sort of a thing that your family used to say And it wasn't just for shits and grins. It's because looking Umber Hulks in the eye can cause bad things. Mormont, you search around, and you are amazed that there is not a crack or seam in this place. It's almost like the entire thing was carved out of one piece of solid rock, not pieces put together. The closest you find to a seam is where the pillar meets the floor and ceiling, allowing it to turn slightly. Go ahead, Gage.
He looks at them as he thinks about this, and he comments, I remember being taught by Umber Hulks. They do only have 4 eyes. However, they have some type of effect, some might argue even supernatural. Looking at them in the eyes can cause issues. And this... Well, do I know what those issues are, by the way?
What do you mean? What issues?
Looking at Umber Hulk in the eye, do I know what happens when that...
You just know that people have said that suddenly they couldn't remember things, they didn't know what they were doing, they just sort of lost focus.
Okay. It is said that looking at Umber Hulk in the eyes could induce some type of memory loss as well.
Can I investigate one of the murals? It doesn't matter which one, and see if there's like any hidden one of these monsters in the picture.
Sure, go ahead.
While he's doing that, I want to turn the column.
Okay.
And put the red stone as if the combination from the paper to the eyes.
Okay, which direction do you want to turn it? You can turn it left or you can turn it right.
Well, I don't have it written down. So on the piece of paper, what's the first combination?
Chimera to sunrise.
Chimera, so I'm going to turn it to 6.
Okay.
And then what's the second creature?
Again, are you turning it left or are you turning it right?
Should be right.
Turning it right.
Okay. As you slowly, it takes a little while before it gets all the way around, but you finally eventually, and as it passes each wall, you hear the clank of passing over some sort of a mechanism or whatever, finally settling in place to where it is pointing to the
chimera.
The hulking. No, there is no chimera.
The hulking beast.
Yeah, there is a
hulking beast. Sorry.
Yeah, there is a hulking gorilla-like beast with 6 menacing eyes, and that is where it points to, and boom, it comes into play.
All right. Next one will be to the tentacle monster going to the left.
Turn it to the left?
Yes.
So we went counterclockwise to get to 6. We go clockwise to get to 1.
Okay.
No, we went. Yep.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So if you're turning it to the right, it would be moving as you're looking up at the red arm. You're moving it counterclockwise, so it's moving to the right. So as you move it left, you're moving it to where?
To the tentacle monster.
1 eye.
The tentacled monster. So again, you bring it all the way back and you pass once again the south door, moving once again to the left, to the first wall just to the left, and you hear it, the heavy stone column fall into place with a clang that echoes in the chamber.
Okay, are we positive Medusa's only going to have 2 eyes?
I don't know. Yeah, I think all those little snakes have eyes too.
Do they have a certain number of snakes?
No.
That would be a better Arcana check.
No. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I'm going to stick with the 2 eyes because I don't think you're going to count the eyes of the snakes. The eyes of the Medusa are what should actually stone you, so myth says.
Okay, so the next one should be to the sunrise, which would be back to the right, and we need to go to the red dragon then.
Yep. So as you as you spin it around, it passes the south wall, and it passes, and it takes you, like, it's very heavy, but you manage to continue to get it all the way around until it points to the wall straight to the west, which is the wall where the red dragon is. So it finally passes by, pointing straight west, coming to rest once again with a heavy clang and a sound of metal on metal latches, either connecting or unconnecting. You're unsure. Oops.
Okay, next will be the Umberhawk. That needs to go to the Eden or the two-headed giant, whichever you want to call it.
Okay. So
that is to the sunset, so we need to go to the left.
Yep. As you once again continue to spin it to the left until it circles back around and comes to rest right here, pointing to the east with a heavy clang.
Then the last one will be the Basilisk, which is 2. That'll be back to the Red Dragon, which is sunrise, which is left.
Yep. Sunrise is to the right. You just went forward to the left. Sun's right.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
Clockwise, counterclockwise.
Yep.
Yep.
As you slowly turn it, click, 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 clang, comes to rest in place with the red symbol now pointing at the red dragon. For a moment, all is quiet as the reverberation of the last turn of the pillar echoes in the room as you stand there in a little bit of anticipation. Eventually, the central pillar begins to vibrate, and the room itself begins to rumble and shake. Not enough to throw you off balance or knock you down, but it's like the whole floor is vibrating. And you hear a rumbling, grating sound of stone on stone. And the walls, while nothing seems to move, suddenly the walls all begin to shift slightly. And as they do, it opens up archways leading into 8 or 7 different alcoves. In each of these alcoves, you can see there are numerous chests stacked, bags stacked here and there. The first thing that catches your attention. The first thing that that catches your attention is that all of the chests appear to be opened up, kicked over, and they don't appear to have anything inside. What do we want to do? And I should say there's 5 alcoves, not 7. 5 alcoves come into view, each in a different, they're probably about little 10-foot by 10-foot alcoves leading off of this room. I don't have a map of them, but just assume they're like, let's say 1 on the west, 2 here, 3 here, 4 here, and 5. So the upper half of the room, there's little alcoves leading off of each one of those diagonal walls as they sort of spin into view.
And you said that all the chests are being kicked open?
From what you guys can see initially, your first checks, as you start looking, it looks like they've been kicked open or opened.
Would someone like to help me investigate this?
I just made an insight check to see what her reaction is.
Immediately, Lavinia starts walking to the first alcove over by where Marmot is. She has a she has sort of a stunned look on her face as she's looking, and she walks in. You can see that in addition to the chests that are spilt, there are papers and books and whatnot that are sort of scattered across the floor of some of the alcoves. She walks into the first one, the western one over by where Marmot is, and she's like, what is, I don't understand how can this be? My father told us we had fortunes. And she begins to look in, and you can see even from where you're standing, Marmot, as I said, this alcove is maybe a 10 by 10. You can see there's a couple, 3 chests in there, some books and some loose leaf papers and whatnot. Maybe a few coins spilt onto the floor. But as she starts to go through, she's beginning to see that the first alcove is the same. The second alcove, again, very much the same as she's going through. Again, some coins and whatnot. Gage, as you're over on that side, you can see that the alcove, the last alcove where you're at, there's like 3 or 4 chests, but none of those appear to have been opened. They appear to be sitting undisturbed.
So my investigation is only for the alcove. I can't do it for the room as I'm walking the alcove looking at stuff. Because that's what I thought was going on. I didn't realize it was only for that specific room.
No, I mean, it's sort of an overall investigation is fine. I'm just saying, as you're looking, all of the alcoves, except for the last one, appear to have been disturbed in some way, shape, or form, to the tune of the chests are dumped over. There's nothing in them. Most of what remains are ledgers and loose papers that are just kind of thrown everywhere, except for that last alcove.
Does this look looted?
Yes.
Like someone came in and got out as fast as they could?
Yes.
Lady Vanderboren, how did your father die exactly?
Burnt up in a ship.
Yes, he and my mother, they died. The will left everything to me. I had.
Do you know if there was anything special about that trip? Was there anyone that was supposed to be with them, or individuals that potentially might know how to get in here?
Well, no.
Want him gone.
No, the only one that had access to any of these were my father and my mother, with the use of the signet ring. And she sort of holds up her hand, and she looks at Edelbrock. I have no idea why any of this I don't understand. My father swore. I know that they weren't great in business, but this, to have lost all of this?
Do you think your mother's missing ring may have been used?
I did an investigation check. Does it look like this was quickly emptied, or does it look like it was like just emptied over time?
Yeah, no. So as I explained to Gage a second ago, and you get the same impression that this was done pretty quickly, because things are just dumped. There's still coins on the floor. Not all of the coins have been taken. There are still some coins left in, but it looks like somebody just did a grab and dash.
Where's the mother's ring? I don't remember.
So she explained that the reason she needed her father's ring is because there were only 2 rings that allowed into the vault. Her mother's ring, and her ring had been lost a few months ago. She had commissioned a new one to be made, but it was still about a month or so before it was done. So she didn't have time to wait with all the bills piling up and all the taxes that had been piled up. So she asked you guys to find her father's ring, which would then give her access to the vault, which was going to allegedly save all of her business interests. And so
it doesn't look like she has the money for any of that now, though.
Well, again, there is some.
There's the one, yeah.
Yeah, there is the one, right? As she begins going through, slowly but surely picking up loose pieces of paper and sort of stacking them together, taking books and bringing them out and sort of staying. I don't understand. The only people allowed in are family members that have access to. So surely that they know who our family is. I don't understand how I have not been here. I'm sure my mother and father haven't been here. All right.
I'm gonna start
go ahead.
looking at these chests to see if maybe there's a hidden compartment or anything that somebody may have missed in
Okay.
their quick examination.
All right.
I'm gonna say in a lower tone to Gage and the dwarf. Perhaps I was wrong on my originals.
What kind of checks would you like me to do?
Brother has looted the vault here, and that's the reason why he's missing. He's run off with it.
Mormont,
Either-
you find a total of 11 silver pieces in all the other alcoves.
Before he wanders off to do that, Gage will look back and goes, "It's either the mother, either someone close to them died, either someone close to them took advantage of this, set them up, or the mother or father took off and ran." Was the father's body recovered, or mother's body recovered, or no?
Neither of them were
Neither.
recovered.
Neither. Neither body was recovered, so it could also easily be one of them had debts that had a bit more than gold could pay off. There's a wide variety of things that this could be.
Is this an investigation check or
For what are we looking for? Sorry.
looking for hidden compartments on the chests, looking to see if somebody missed something?
Okay.
I'm gonna
Yeah, it's all investigation.
okay. I'm gonna use nat 20. So
Okay. So as you search through and engage, this is sort of a wait, who is this? Who did that? Forge? Is that who's doing it?
yep, forge. Yep.
All right, use one of your nat 20s. All right. So as you search through, Gage, you as well as Forge, as you are picking up papers and whatnot, you see that there's a lot of paperwork that shows there are a lot of people that owe money to the Vanderborens. There's bills, there's vouchers, there's IOUs. It just seems that the Vanderborens themselves didn't appear to be too over-enthusiastic about collecting the debts. And so, as she had said, they were great adventurers, but business maybe not so much. Although
I got good news, Lady Vanderboren.
No, go ahead. Go ahead,
We
Gage.
gotta do this, Sean.
No, go ahead, Gage. Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
Good news, he calls out from another alcove as he stands up. You got a lot of papers that mean money.
As she takes some of the papers from you and she starts going through. Additionally, the 3 chests that are contained in the last alcove are filled with gold coins and gems. So she is not completely broke. There is definitely, but as she's flipping through some of the papers, she's, well, this is my mother's handwriting, but I don't recognize this language. This is strange script. Do any of you know? And she hands up some of the papers for you guys to sort of take a look at to see if you may or may not know.
He knows Dwarvish and Elvish.
Okay. You recognize the script as Elfin.
This is Elven script.
Elfin? My mother didn't know Elf. Why would she write in Elf if she? This is also confusing. I'm gonna have to take some time to look at this and determine what in the world is going on here. As she collects the papers from you. Well, at least, as she sort of looks, at least we know whoever was here and looted this, they didn't get everything. And we shall have to tell the clerks to make sure that no one except myself is allowed to enter this vault, even if they have a ring. I'm going to ensure that I am the only one that is allowed. Perhaps we can figure out who it was that was here.
So
Forge.
perhaps the guards up front would know whether or not somebody else came in with a ring.
Yes, they should keep ledgers of anyone that accesses all of the vaults. I would assume they would.
Yes.
How difficult would it be to change the code for this room?
That I do not
Would
know.
you know that, or know someone who would know that?
I would have to defer to the keepers of the vaults themselves. Perhaps they would know, but I personally do not.
Well, more importantly, who would have known the combination of these vaults up?
It
This-
would be very, very few.
Yeah, I mean, it would be obviously those that made the vault, and I'm sure the parents. But yeah,
Can we get a description of your brother? I think we need to look for him.
so you guys, yeah, you guys
House.
saw the picture hanging up in the house of what he looked like.
We definitely need to keep our eyes out for him.
I don't. I should have done that before. I thought I did one with Lavinia, but I'll put some journal entries up that actually have photos of folks and whatnot. So
This throws my entire assumptions off.
glad that I can at least be a little bit tricky. So what do we want to do? Yeah, that was good. So as she gathers up what's left, she does a quick stock, and you guys.
Somebody with the ring, or it had to be a Vanderboren that entered here because that snake didn't kill anybody.
Good point. Very good point.
Do constructs repair themselves
No.
over time? Like certain. Okay, so something like that Iron Cobra would not be able to repair itself over time. Then.
No, somebody would have to reconstruct it or whatever.
Okay.
However, she manages to take a quick stock of everything that is in here. She gathers up what ledgers and papers, and after spending about an hour down here going through everything, she determines that she at least has enough to keep the business afloat, and with all the debts that are owed her family, she has no doubt that she'll be able to seed the business long enough to get it running again. I am most grateful that you were here to aid me in this endeavor. I believe I am very happy with our arrangement, and I hope that you shall keep on with our arrangement. I think I'm going to go home now and go through all of these ledgers to determine exactly the extent of what is owed my family and begin to try to collect whatever is due while we start to restart our whole business. In the meantime, I would like each of you to take this, and she hands each one of you 50 gold coins.
Do be mindful about who you collect your debts on. Sometimes the person who owes could be more useful to you as a friend.
Yes, but as of right now, as the business is in need of.
Oh yes, of course.
But lady, before you go,
mind who you grab.
I do have a question. Can you
Yes.
tell us where your brother liked to frequent? Where he'd go here, there, drinking, sleeping, whoring?
Well, maybe I'm not like 100% sure. Most of his time when he spent with his friends, I think is more of in the Shadow Shore. He liked to hang out with some of those unsavory types, I guess, for lack of a better term.
Were there any of those unsavory types that stood out to you that maybe we can look for them as well?
No, but
names of his friends?
No, I didn't. I never met any. I do know that periodically he Well, I just know that like Shadow Shore was probably one of the places, and the docks. He used to like to hang out on the docks. He always liked the water. He was much like my father in that respect. That's why I always thought that he would be the one to inherit the family business. But apparently, my father was one who disagreed with him. But yeah, so the waterfronts, Shadow Shore. I'm sure the town hall records and the guards on the docks probably knew him very well. He was always seeming to get himself a night's stay by the local watch. My father many times used to grumble about having to go down to the Azure District Watch or the Azure District Watch to pick up my brother and pay whatever fine it was for whatever he got himself into that day. But yes, so there was a place I recall him. He called it the Parrot, something the Parrot. But I'm sorry, I don't remember. The plucked parrot, maybe. I apologize. I am unsure. But
what about gambling? Did he gamble?
Oh, I am sure he did, but I had no idea with my brother on what his dealings were.
Being that we've been around the city for a while, do we know anything that was named Parrot?
The plucked parrot is an inn in Shadow Shore.
What's that?
Okay.
The plucked parrot is an inn in Shadow Shore.
Perfect. I think I need a dinner.
It's on the coast.
So, as you go to depart, you guys are once again greeted by the clerks who led you down here in the first place. Madam, all is well, I hope. I hope everything is to your satisfaction. As she gets this scowl on her face. In fact, quite the opposite, my good sir. Our funds have been completely ransacked and removed. I don't understand, my lady. Nobody but Vanderborens are allowed in, so I don't understand how anything could have been ransacked or taken without the Vanderboren permission. I assure you, we do not just let anybody into our vaults. You know our security measures, ma'am.
So has there been another Vanderboren here?
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, Mr. Vanderboren has been here off and on over the past month or so. Yes, but nobody besides him. No.
Mr. is in her father or her brother?
No, Vanthus, her brother. Everybody knows Vanthus. He's been here off and on for a month or so.
When was the last time he was here?
Perhaps a week, if not quite a week, maybe half a week.
How long has he been missing? I asked her.
I have not seen my brother since my parents died, which is over a month ago.
Well, I think we know where the money went.
My brother would not do that. He's misguided, yes, but not a thief.
Is it theft if it was his money in his eyes?
Well, I guess that's true, but if my father doesn't leave it to him specifically, then he knows that it's not his. It belongs to the family and to the business. Surely he would not ruin me as such.
Was he
Maybe
included
he thinks
in the will
belongs
at all?
to him.
Sorry that you spoke over each other. Gage, go first.
Was he included in the will in any way?
No, he was rather upset, and that's why I thought he was just off blowing steam, because father left everything to me when I am sure that he expected at least something.
Which means in his eyes, this was his money.
Perhaps.
So he's not stealing it.
While it's still too early to pursue all my direct, he certainly did it line of thinking. It is very much plausible now to consider him one of the potential suspects for this.
Asking the guard, does Mr. Vanderboren have another vault here?
No, the Vanderborens only have one vault, and that is this one here, as you can see. And above the vault, it has the big sign, Vanderboren.
Pardon me.
Where else would he store this amount of money?
I do not know. I wish I could help you, my friends. I can't, but I am going to go home and I'm going to go through all of these documents and all of these papers and see. Give me a couple of days. Go. You have earned your time off. Give me a couple of days to go through this and to try to get at least some of the business back in order. Perhaps some of these debts can be collected upon that'll help pay some of the taxes that we have due and begin to get our shipping business going once again. And once I figure out what I want to do, then I shall contact you. I guess the same as I shall send word to the Rusty Pirate, and then we can gather back then whenever I'm ready to decide what it is that I need to do, or if there is some other tasking that I may have need of your services for.
Yes, if you can't reach us at the pilot, you can probably leave word for me at the last stitch.
And she sort of wrinkles her nose. Yes, of course. I can do that.
I would like to tug at her dress to get her attention.
She looks down. Yes, my good sir.
And quietly, I want to kind of stroke the iron cobra over my shoulders and ask her if I can have it.
I guess. Sure. I suppose we could just have another one contracted. But yes, if you wish to have it, you may have it.
Shall we escort her back to her mansion?
Okay. As you guys all depart, it is confirmed by those that keep the records that it's been 5 days since Vanthus Vanderboren was here. And the ledger says that he was accompanied by a woman that he identified as his fiancée. And because they were to be wed, the clerks and whatnot allowed her to accompany him down to the vault.
We get a description of her from the clerk.
I'll let you do this. Give me a investigation check. DC 12 will give you something. DC 15 gives you a lot.
I will assist.
Can I persuade
there's
him
no
instead?
there's no insisting or there's no aiding or anything on this because he's just rolling for the GAR for the perception. It's not too bad. Yeah, I recall she had dark hair. She was a little smaller than he. I remember she was rather giddy in his presence. Like, yes, giddy is the best term that I can give. But unfortunately, that's all that I can really remember. We get people in here all the time, in and out, and so unfortunately, I cannot give you a better description. But thin girl, about his height, a little shorter, long dark hair, smiled and seemed to be giddy.
Did he seem at all distressed?
Not that I recall. Anxious, maybe eager to get into the vault. He said many times he had much pressing business and that we needed to expedite his access to the vault so that he could get back to the business at hand. But
you know what? I'm gonna slide a gold piece over to the clerk, and I said, "Can you notify me if you see them again at the Rusty Pirate, or send word to me?" And just slide them a gold piece.
If I see them at the Rusty Pirate, you want me to go find you?
No, I said if you see them again, can you send word to me?
Oh, of course, absolutely. And you are?
I am Forge Flintfire.
Mr. Flintfire, I shall. If I am here and I see them, I will send word immediately, of course. And he takes the coin, smiles, and gives you a nod. an understanding nod that he speaks dwarf just as well as you do. Everybody speaks dwarf when you're passing gold back and forth. So
Ooh, pass me a gold and see if I can speak dwarf.
as you all depart, finding your way back to the Vanderboren mansion. Sorry, I moved everybody in and grabbed you too. As you guys find yourself back at the Vanderboren mansion, it is in the mid-afternoon by the time you guys get back, give or take around like 3:30 in the afternoon. It's been an all-day affair that you guys met Lavinia and then went to Castle Terracnian, to the vaults, and now you find yourself back, as I said, in early afternoon. She leaves you to go inside to do as she said. She's going to take a look at these ledgers and these documents and just kind of see where the business is at. She asked to give her a couple of days, so that gives you guys a couple of days to kind of do what you want to do. Everybody roll initiative.
Oh,
Everybody roll initiative.
where'd it go? There it is.
Let me create an encounter here real quick.
Yeah, we can't do that.
All right. Now you can. Does everybody roll initiative for me? So starting at the bottom, Edelbrock. It is 3:00 in the afternoon, roughly, as you guys all leave Lavinia Vanderboren. It is the second day of planting in the common year 596. As I said, it's 3 in the afternoon. What would you like to do while we are passing the time? You've got a couple of days to kill. So you guys, essentially the reason you rolled initiative, I'm just going to take you one at a time around the horn on what we want to do over the next couple of days. And we'll work through that. If you guys want to stay together and do things together, great. If you want to do individual things yourself, great. Hakon is just going to wander around aimlessly in town. Hopefully he doesn't step off a bridge wearing his armor and drown. But in the meantime, we'll start with you, Edelbrock, on what do you want to do?
All right. Well, first I want to see if everybody wants to go to this Parrot. Is that a inn or just a tavern? I don't remember.
Let me get my.
It says inn/tavern.
Yeah, so that's exactly what we're looking at. So.
And see if we see anything tonight.
Oh, I definitely want to go there and have a meal and an ale or two.
Okay, well, before I head there, I need to go to the bookstore that's underneath Gabe here. Gage.
Yep.
I moved him for you. All right. So I guess I should say really quick before you do this, are you guys going to wait to go check that place out? Or what are we going to do?
Why don't you look through everyone else and see what everyone else is interested in doing and
Yeah,
see
that's what I was doing.
best.
Yep, that's what I was doing. That's why I wanted to make sure before we go too much into it. So, Gage, what are your thoughts on what you wanted to do?
First, you said Gage has been living in this city for a bit, right?
Yep, everybody has.
Okay. Yeah. All right. How much would a level 1 spell scroll be to purchase? So you can try to learn a spell.
Yeah, there is not many places that you know of that actually sell magic within town. Magic is very highly controlled in Sassarine. Typically, only those that work for the city get access to some of that
Gotcha.
stuff, unless you happen to
Okay.
find something somewhere, or you might happen to
Or
find a
just,
trader or something in the market. Somebody may be able to sell, but there's not like strict magic shops where you're just going to go buy
Okay.
a spell. You can get potions and apothecary stuff, but magical spells and scrolls are usually much harder to come by.
Immediate follow-up: is magic illegal to cast if I'm not working for the city?
Only it's not illegal unless it's not illegal if you're doing something in self-defense or defending the city in some way. But if you start throwing eldritch blasts at people because you're drunk and stuff, then
I mean, that falls under the same laws as everything else. It's
they
the
will
same as beating
pilot.
someone with a bat or shooting with a gun at that
Yep,
point.
exactly.
Okay. Okay. So, all right. I will chill with the party then.
Okay. Forge
I
anything
got no
particular?
reason to go anywhere else.
Forge,
Oh,
you
well,
have anything that you want to do?
I've missed lunch. I'm going to go to this plucked parrot and have some lunch.
So just so you know, the plucked parrot is about an hour away, hour and a half away, because it's over here in Shadow Shore. That is.
And then it'd be dinner time. Okay, let's get going.
Yep, there is actually Shadow Shore is actually walled off. With you have to get through gates to get through there. So all right, so you're headed to Shadow Shore.
You can take the ferry over here.
Yeah, you
Land's
could.
over here somewhere, I think.
Yeah, you could. Yep, there's the right over here where our paladin is. It's actually where is the gondola station? Yeah, actually, yeah, the gondola station's like right here. So that's the gondola station. He'll go with you.
Where was it like again?
What's that?
Where's the parrot?
It is. Let me find it over
Oh, it's here on the shore.
Yeah, that's Shadow Shore, which is kind of like your slum
Gotcha.
kind of district.
Yeah, that should be too.
It's right here. It's literally like right on the water here. So it's like boom, right there. And so, and here's the gondola. So here's where it'll land. It'll land here when you take the gondola over there. And then, like I said, it's actually over here is where it's actually located. So.
And if you need it, this is my brothel.
Oh. Yeah. All right. So getting back to Edelbrock.
I think Marmot, ain't it?
Oh yeah, Marmot. My apologies, Marmot. Anything that you wanted to do?
I mean, I'm not offended. It's easy to mistake goblinoids, but I would like to go meet up with Silk and see if he can help me get a good price for this construct corpse.
Okay. All right. So you're gonna go back to the Rusty Pirate and see what Silk has to say. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
See if maybe he can find me some equipment upgrades for a reasonable trade.
Yeah. Exactly. All right.
I'll meet you guys here.
Okay. Go back to where I was now to get my notes. So you step into the store, this inner labyrinth, and you see that this narrow store, it just sort of stands in a nondescript spot here along Vine Street here in the Merchant District. It's got some windows on the door. It's got a couple small windows on the front face of the building. There's stained glass that reflects the light, but not coming out, obviously, but it reflects light entering into the building. As you step inside, the air itself smells of sort of dust and lamp oil and old vellum. The shelving in here is crammed with overflowing with books and papers and sealed scrolls, and you can see in the back on some of the shelves some tomes that are chained up and chained closed. As you enter in, shuffling from the back is this rather swarthy skinned sort of, I don't want to say swarthy, it's more like pale and waxy skinned. His hair is shiny black and pasted to his head and brushed straight down, very thin, but it sort of dangles down the back of his neck. His eyes are pale, and you can literally see the numerous cataracts that are sort of covering his eyes as he comes in, and he's sort of humming slightly to himself. His clothing is rather nondescript, but it's very heavy, sort of charcoal covered layers of robes. The front of his coat you can see is stained with ink, and as he reaches his hand to shake you in welcoming, you can see that his fingertips are dyed black with ink, as well, as if he's been doing this for 100 years and never washed the ink from his hands, and it's just now become a natural part of it, the tips of his fingers. He whispers, almost to the point where you have to lean in to listen. "Welcome. I've been expecting you. I am Mavros Van, and you are here seeking something, yes? Or is it something has been seeking you, and you wish to know what it is that is there, but you can feel but cannot see? Come. Tell Mavros what it is that you seek."
You are perceptive for a near blind man. And yes, I am seeking something as well as something is seeking me. I need tomes. Do you have any tomes regarding patrons?
Patrons? I don't... What do you mean? You mean the summoning? Is that what you are? You wish to summon something from the depths? Is that what you wish? Not many of your kind are willing to take such drastic measure, but I suppose.
Yes, I'm looking for a tome on how to summon one's patron for pack magic. I'm also looking for a tome that would give details on how to alter or find your pack magic contract.
You wish to alter? Contracts are not altered. When signed, they are signed for a reason, and you are granted what the contract says and give what the contract demands. But here, come. And he sort of shuffles toward the back, and
has to be some sort of research on this.
Gage is there with you, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gage should stick around.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't like a lot of my stuff I do.
He leads you toward the back into some old dusty corner and pushes some papers and cobwebs out of the way. He goes, I know it's here. Wait, what's it? And he starts flipping through the books. Let me see. Is this way? No. Yes, here. Yes. And he grabs this thick bound tome. It's sort of a grayish, cracked leather bound with some chains. He brings it out and he slams it down on a table right now, sending dust everywhere. And he unclicks the bind that's clasping it, and you hear it sort of almost like snap, like it hasn't been undone in ages. And he flips the tome open, and more dust comes up. And for the briefest second, give me a perception check. For the briefest second, you'd swear that you smell. You know that smell that you get, or you can get when it's outside and it's about to rain, and you get that sort of rain smell before it hits. It's almost like what that is like, but dusty in a sense. He goes, "This is the concordance of hallowed names. This is yes. This is all. If you want to know what not to do, you need to go through this and study this guide, because this is an accounting of the failures of those who seek to do exactly what it is that you are doing. Yes, if you go through," and he starts flipping through, and as you begin to sort of look through, you can see it literally is a cacophony of different writers. The different handwritings, different forms of writing, different things that are discussed, but all of it revolves around pact magic in some way, shape, or form. Some talk about dreams. Some talk about beware of the false patrons. There is text on there that has what appear to be or used to be the names of entities, but since has been scratched and blackened out to the point where you can't read it. But it's just like a litany of different people. It's like 100 different writers all got together and said, "Hey, let's write this book, and you write this page, and you write that page," and it's all different. There are all kinds of diagrams and things inside it describing strange creatures and strange entities, lower world and upper world and unknown world of entities and whatnot. And it's just sort of a conglomerate pack magic for dummies, if you will.
So I asked him, I said, "So is this tome able to allow me to summon or contact my patron?"
"Oh no, the patrons don't get summoned. Patrons watch. Patrons learn, and then patrons call to you. You think you summon, but no. That's not how it works, my boy. No. This will give you knowledge to understand what it is that is happening to you and how perhaps to guide yourself through it, but to summon a being into existence. Oh no. That is the realm reserved for those of great power. I don't know that you are ready or willing to, but perhaps this book, perhaps this would help too." And he begins to dig through a little more, and he pulls out a book that is a small, thin. It has it's a leather-bound book as well, but it's very thin, and the leather itself is supple, but it's sort of has a reddish tint to it. But the book, when he pulls it out, is completely wrapped in a large, soft red silk hanky. And he sort of unfolds the handkerchief that then reveals the book within the folds, and he sort of folds it open, and you can see the leather itself is very supple. The pages themselves are well crafted, but interestingly, this entire book looks to be handwritten, and once again, it contains all kinds of diagrams and notes and paragraphs and discussions. This is the red litany, the litany of opening. Yes. You read this, and it tells you what happens when you try to force things. Yes, you wish to try to force, and you try to summon a being into existence and bend it to your will. And I can tell you, my son, you are not ready for that kind of power. But here, read for yourself. And he hands you the book, and again, you can see different diagrams, drawings of different moon alignments for the twin moons of Selene and Luna, which are the two moons of Oerth, And you can see that inside it's got like recipes for incense, various methods for entering trances that will sort of aid you in being a conduit for powers. But as you read and take a quick glance through, your sharp eyes can pick out that while many contacts were successful, usually it started in some sort of a dreamlike state. But anytime anything was tried to force, like any summoning or any bending of will to force something to happen, ended in abject failure. And these are all personal accounts that are written in here of things that happen to whomever this person is. Yes, you take this, a very, very good price for you, but yes, watch and wait. If I can see you have the gift already. I can tell that someone or something is already watching you. Yes, you can feel it. You can feel it looking over your shoulder, perhaps visiting in your dreams. The light in the shield. I can see the light in the shield. Is that what you see as well?
They give me power, but I haven't heard from them in over a year.
Oh, ooh. Perhaps it is just waiting for you to understand your power more, and then they will, because this is how these beings are. They give you a little bit.
I fear I've fallen out of favor, and I don't know how.
Oh, well, as he sort of waves his hand by your face, you are not alone. I can sense, and he closes his eyes, if you could tell if his eyes are closed, because they look closed even when they're open, as he sort of passes his hand. Yes. Whatever there is, it is with you. You have not been abandoned, for if you had been abandoned, you would not have the powers that have been granted you already. So
He gave me power to heal. I can't do that no more. He's taking it away.
Oh. Interesting. So, well, perhaps these two books will. I have a third, but I don't think you would like that. It's more of a personal diary of sorts. I don't know if that will help you in any, but these two books I think will help you to understand what is necessary to make oneself a vessel, to accept whatever the contract is offering. Because remember, once the contract is offered and taken, there is no turning back. Only through the death of the one being granted the power is the contract ever usually undone. But I don't see that in your future.
The deal was offered, but I don't know what the deal is.
Well, that is part of the journey.
With my investigation, with these two books, does it look like there's information in here I can use to try to force us a contact?
Yes, absolutely. And you also noted that in the quick glance on the one book, 100% of the time something was forced, with like a forced summoning or whatever, it failed. Sometimes with catastrophic consequences. But yes, they do show various rituals, various symbols and diagrams that you can draw, and various incantations and incenses you can create to try to summon something to you. But as I said, the forcing usually causes issues. But
so how much do you want for the pair?
100 gold.
Can I make a persuasion to talk him down?
Yeah, absolutely. As he sort of looks, you look troubled. You perhaps need these books as much as anyone I have seen walk through my doors. And he looks over at Gage, your friend included. What would you offer for the two?
75.
This can be done. As he reaches his hand out, and you grasp his hand, and his hand is bone-chilling cold, like deathly cold, like you've touched dead bodies before, and it's literally like you're clasping the hand of a clammy, cold, dead body.
I'm going to make an insight check on
Okay.
him.
Okay.
I think I wouldn't actually have the context to do that. I'll just let that lie.
Does he seem like a legit person?
He's really weird, very eccentric, but he seems legit to you, yeah.
Okay. So I gave him the gold for that. And while I'm there, I'm like, do I know that Gage is looking for spells?
If
don't-
I recall, he tries to keep his magic casting on the low down, so probably not.
All right.
He would not openly talk about his magic. He might have maybe you might have heard him saying something about how he might be interested in a
He's
spell
seen
that can
cast
do
magic
that.
before.
Oh, excuse me, sorry.
Yeah, you've probably seen him cast magic. Yeah, but I don't think who would have ever outright just said, "I'm looking for more spells," because one of the things that he mentioned to me was his magic is kept on the lowdown, more through personal enhancements than flashy stuff, because of his backstory.
So
Okay,
I
well, that's
posted
fine.
the. Go ahead, Gage.
Because it was like not supposed to be publicly advertised or something like that.
Yeah, because his family is a family of fighters and warriors, and he was like the runt of the litter, and so he had more of an adept to magic.
Though, right?
Say again, sir?
He is a standard wizard, though, right?
Yeah, he's a fighter magic user,
Yes.
a fighter wizard. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. So I posted the title of the two books you got. You can just put them in your notes if you want to put them on your character sheet somewhere. You can, but
Yeah, hang on a second. I have two books already in my chest, so am I able to copy them?
What do you mean?
Yeah, duplicate. All right, yeah, there we go. Yeah, I'm going to duplicate and just rename them. All right, that's all I have for here. So I thank him for his time, and then I'll look at Gage, and unless you have some business here, we can meet up at the tavern bar with the rest.
We can go. We can go.
All right. Really quick. Don't let me forget, Edelbrock. I've got the full descriptions of the books and what's are inside for you.
Yeah, just so you know, I don't know if you've ever looked at my character sheet, but I got a book on Pantheon, so it's like various gods of the realm.
Yep.
And then I also got a prayer book for my former god, Nomog Gania.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you guys end up departing the labyrinth, which is the name of the bookstore. The Inner Labyrinth, by the way, for those that didn't know, is the occult bookstore that our characters have been at. While you guys are on there, in the interim, Forge, you, Marmot, and Hakon managed to catch a gondola. It is 5 silver pieces per person to have the gondola transport you across the way. So if you would be so kind as to take off 5 silver pieces, which would leave, if you spent a gold, that'll leave you 5 silver. Why is it not letting me edit? Maybe if I open this character sheet as DM and not as a player, because I'm a retard.
How much is the ferry ride?
5 silver pieces. So if you take off a gold, that'll leave you with 5 silver. And you guys
Alrighty.
make it, and it is right where Edelbrock is, right here. You guys want to? That's where he's at. As you enter into the plucked parrot.
Yeah, so the only thing I'm planning on doing here is I'm just going to come in, I'm going to sit, and I'm just going to watch and listen, but I'm going to start reading my books.
Okay.
I'm going to order food and ale. And
Yeah,
keep
I'll
an eye.
some need as well.
I'm looking for this woman and or him specifically.
Okay. Let's get some. I'm sorry, I should have done this before, but let's get some good old tavern music. Does it even have any in here? That's kind of strange. I was hoping it had some kind of tavern music in there, but apparently we don't. That's pretty crappy. Oh, here we go. Let's do this. I am going to go to
Question, DM.
Yep.
Where would I find silk?
So probably the best place right across the harbor from where you guys are, there is the market.
Okay.
It is the there's the marketplace hall is this large L-shaped red building right on the peninsula here, right across. And that's kind of like an indoor swap meet where they've got all the booths and stuff inside, and then outside they've got all the outside markets and the festival type of stuff, right? It's known as, this one here is known as the Harbor Market. The city itself has a couple different markets, but this one is known as the Harbor Market. There's also I believe a smaller market where you guys are, but don't quote me. I can't remember if there's one in Shadow Shore or not. I know there's a couple temples and shrines and whatnot, but yeah, it doesn't look like it has its own market. So yeah, probably the closest one to be right across. There are other establishments in here. I'm trying to look and see some of the places that may cater to what you're looking. It doesn't look like too much. Oh, you know what? How about this one? They may have some silk for you right next to the gondola station where you guys landed. So you landed in the gondola station here.
No, I'm not looking for silk. I'm looking.
Oh,
silk.
Oops, my bad.
I figure I might as well update my tattered rags. But
yep, yeah, I was saying my bad. You saying silk? I'm like, oh, you want to go to the shop? Silk is actually, if I remember correctly, when we discussed in the Rusty Pirate, is where you used to hang out a lot in the merchant district, and Silk is where you met her there, right? I have to go back to your backstory. I apologize. It's not coming to me right off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure the Rusty Pirate was a place that you hung out, and Silk is there periodically as a member of the underworld that works in kind of that area. So the Rusty Pirate, unless we find notes somewhere that say different, I'm going to say the Rusty Pirate because I'm pretty sure when we discussed it originally, that's what we had talked about.
That's a good place.
Yep. So. Yeah, there we go.
I just would have popped over to see if Silk was there before we caught the ferry.
Okay. So when you get there, No, she is not.
Okay. I'll leave word that I'm looking for and cutscene to.
Okay. All right. So now we can just do it here. All right, cool. All right. So you all get to the plucked parrot. It's a rundown, not rundown, but it's on the seedier side of town. You can see that there's a lot of old rundown wooden boards that are sort of holding this place together. It is sits right on the water, so it's very popular with a lot of the sailors and whatnot, especially those that are coming on this side of town, because right behind where you guys are is a place that Edelbrock knows very well, if only because of the fact that it's a rival business. The Velvet Witch, or I'm sorry, not the Velvet Witch, the Velvet Hatch is literally the structure right behind you guys, and that is one of the other brothels here in Shadow Shore. And as I said, it is a sort of a rival institution for the Last Ditch Lovers. But anyway, you guys are inside. Meals are going to be 2 silver pieces. Ale is a silver piece. Wine is a gold, if you want to get fancy. So whatever you guys are looking.
There we go. Dinner and 3 ales. I'm good to go. That's 5 silver pieces.
Okay. As you are sitting around, the place is fairly boisterously busy. A lot of people coming in and out. A lot of old salt sailors, you can tell, that probably aren't still working the vessels, but are still hanging out where those that do the vessels are. Smoking their weed pipes, sitting there as the large open windows that open up into the harbor itself, allowing the breeze to kind of blow through and carry out some of the pipeweed smoke. Across the harbor, you can see the harbor fair, or the market, if you will. And off to one side, you can see the only island really here that's close to the city. They call it an island, even though it's more like a big, huge, unused rock. They call it Parrot Island because apparently when this place was first founded, there was a whole big flock of parrots that were on there. So they said, hey, that's where the parrots are from, so we're going to call it Parrot Island. But regardless, you can see out all of these things across the harbor. The bartender grabs your ale, and the servant wenches grab your meals, and they come drop plates as they dance around. What do we want to do while we're here at the Plucked Parrot? It's sundown now, as the sun is beginning to fade over the western sky. Probably around 6:30ish or so. So it is just now getting to be dusk.
Quick side note. I was thinking about going to the Parrot Island when I attempt to summon. That's why I'm not around other people.
Okay.
What is that island exactly? Is it just
It's literally just it's just like it's not used for anything by the city. It's, at one point back in the day, it had some battlements on it that the city used for city protection, but they've long since outgrown it. Now it's just overgrown with shrubs and small trees and bushes. Occasionally people go out there to romp and stomp and have a good time or whatever, kind of like kids getting out of school and they're, hey, let's all go out to the island and go skinny dipping or whatever, stuff like that, right? But to your knowledge, it's not used by anything. It's just sort of they call it Parrot Island for whatever reason, because it's always been called Parrot Island.
Yeah, I was tossing up between either trying to summon there or on the rooftop of my brothel.
Right.
So,
Okay. All right.
keep that in mind.
All right. Cool.
Yeah, so while we're sitting here, even though I'm reading the book, I'm trying to listen to voices and stuff like that.
Okay.
Is there any news, any stuff I pick up, snippets of
All right,
conversations,
go ahead.
especially regarding Elvira or her brother?
Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception check, please. DC 12 will maybe hear something. A DC 20 will give you everything. So you hear the typical rumors. You hear that levies are gonna be getting higher on some shipments or whatever because of thieves stealing things. People feel that some of the sailors here are thinking that it's all the doings of that new group called the Lotus Dragons, and that because of some of the stuff that they're doing, it's causing the city to kind of have to raise tariffs and taxes and stuff like that on people. But you do catch a little bit of interesting conversation about folks that work with the Lotus. And one name seems to come up, and you hear this name, Penkus, Penkus, Penkus. You hear this name come up as someone who may have been involved, and people are like, nah, Penkus ain't gonna do that. Penkus is a stupid fuck. He doesn't know anything. Well, somebody's got to be working with somebody then. He's stupid. And then this old timer just sort of chuckles and laughs. You kids these days don't know nothing. Blowing smoke out or whatever. I remember back in my day, we were able to do this and we were able to do that right under the nose of the magistrates, and they didn't know nothing, and they thought we were stupid too, and look at us now. As he coughs up his lung and spits. It hits the floor right near your feet, and he smiles at you, his teeth all rotted green. So, but yeah, that's kind of the gist of what you hear. You don't hear anything about Elvira, but definitely word on the street about the Lotus Dragons is fairly common to your ears now. Anybody else want to do anything while they're here eating their meal?
Again, I'm just kind of looking around and just trying to spot the description of the lady and or the brother.
Okay.
Yeah. I will. Would that be perception or an investigation if I'm actively looking for an individual?
It would be investigation if you're actively looking for somebody.
Mormont's with us now, right?
He is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have any contacts, fences?
I don't think she's awake yet.
I have some jewels that we've taken off the guy off that ship. I think he was working for the Lotus Dragon. I'm trying to fence it to somebody that might have dealings with them.
I can ask. I'll scarf down my meal and I'll sit there and.
Who are you looking for specifically, Marmot? Sorry.
Mr. Vanderboren.
Okay. Vanderboren? Yeah, it's Vanderboren. His name is his name's Vanthus.
Vanthus. Yeah.
Vanthus.
All I know is the picture I saw on the wall, so that's what I'm looking for.
Yep. Victor Alpha November, THUS, Vanthus Vanderboren.
I haven't heard the military freaking call like that in a while.
Sorry, man.
Burn an advantage on that reroll. I don't know.
Okay, just go ahead and reroll, and I'll just take off the.
A fan of 13. Not much a fan of 11 either.
however, with your 13, 12 gets you something. So you hear as they're going around, you hear this name Penkus come up, and you hear that he was here the other night, and apparently a little bit on the inebriated side, and whoever he was with, he really got into an argument with over something, although you don't know what that something was. You know that he was here with somebody, and that somebody he got into an argument with.
Not that I hang out inside the main room of my brothel. But would I've heard this name?
Give me a history check, please. A 12 will get you something. A 17 will get you a lot. Yeah, you've never heard the name before in your life.
Go and burn that 20 I got.
Okay, you're gonna burn that 20 you got. Where is Edelbrock? Here we are. All right. So you know that Penkus is a sailor first, but you know that he has been involved with smuggling operations. You've heard his name in and amongst folks and the girls talking about he's a wickedly violent temper kind of guy. Always seems to be with the wrong crowd. Used to like to hang out at It Still Floats, which you know is just down the street. It's another tavern right down the street. They call it It Still Floats for a reason, because it used to be a boat, now converted into a tavern. And they call it It Still Floats because it almost doesn't still float. So you know that was one of his sort of hangouts that he used to like to be at. And you also heard rumors, or some of the girls heard rumors, that he may have fallen in with some of these Lotus Dragon types, whether he's with the Lotus Dragons themselves or hanging out with those that are with the Lotus Dragons themselves. His ties are definitely seem to be there. So, other than that, it's mostly the same gossip, rumor stuff that you guys hear as your meal continues and the sun draws deeper shadows. Perhaps an hour or so goes by, or however long you guys want to hang out. What do we want to do?
Sounds like this Lotus gang needs to, we may have to be starting to look into them. They might be part of this problem.
But just the Thieves Guild springing up out of all the rest of the Thieves Guild.
Yeah, but they seem to be mentioned every time we turn around.
That's because they're gaining more and more traction.
How long
Actually,
ago has it been since they suddenly picked up their activity?
Say that again, Gage.
How long ago has it been since they recently picked up their activity? Like, I know they've been acting here for a bit now, but have they recently picked up lately?
Well, so I know you came in late to the game, so I'll kind of give the backstory. Last year, there was a incident known as the Age of Worms, and a trio of cults got together and said, hey, we're going to take bits and pieces of our gods, and we're going to form another god based on those three aspects. And those three gods were Erithnal, the god of death, Hextor, the god of war, and Vecna, whom everybody knows. And they created this uber god, and this uber god was supposed to usher in the Age of Worms, when there was an ancient wizard by the name of Kyuss, Kyuss, who created super powerful undead. And the way he did it was use some sort of strange worm-like creatures that burrowed their way into people's skin, killed them, and then turned them into these powerful undead. And so this was sweeping the entire Flanness. And Sasserine, this town, was swept up in part of it. And you, as party members, were fledgling adventurers, and you were actually some of the ones on the front lines helping to save Sasserine from what was going on. Well, long story short, Sasserine used to be under the thumb of some of the countries to the north on mainland, if you will, mainland Greyhawk. And after that, it essentially threw off what they called threw off the shackles of serfdom and began ruling themselves more. And so a lot of the ruling class were overthrown, and a lot of the thieves guilds and stuff were thrown down. And so power abhors a vacuum, and so something needs to fill the void. And so when all these thieves guilds and stuff kind of were overthrown and the city began taking control of itself, well, small little groups of would-be power brokers started to pop up. And the Lotus Dragons are just the latest ones over the past year, but they seem to be gaining some traction where they're actually getting power and they're becoming known, and they're actually increasing their ranks because everybody wants to be on the side of the winner, so to speak. So yeah, these Lotus Dragons over the past year have slowly built a reputation, but over the past few months, it's probably escalated a little more than it had the first several months. So, that being said, as you guys wind down and enjoy your meal, do we want to continue to drink? What do we want to do?
Gage will suggest, is it possible that someone within the Lotus recently happened to come across someone who has a large source of wealth and convinced an idiot to help them out?
All right. Was that geared toward me? Sorry, I didn't know if you were talking to the party now.
That was geared toward the group.
Okay. Rephrase your question.
I mean, the
don't know
brother
if
could have
anybody.
easily just the brother could have just easily been an idiot, but it was with a strange woman, and they were supposed to be getting married, and it's been drained of their resources, and suddenly their activity picked up here. I don't know. Could be just pure coincidence.
Yeah, I don't know. My initial guess was maybe he's being used by her or against his will.
100%.
But we don't really have much information on this lady, so
None.
I think we should probably start visiting the taverns throughout this district next few days.
Actually, you know, I
Maybe
think I want to visit that brothel behind us and see if I can't find this woman.
Which woman? Oh,
the
the
brothel, and describe the fiancée. I'm looking for this type of woman for my dwarfly needs.
Okay. All right.
I can tell you that my brothel does not have any that looks like that.
All right.
This would definitely be interesting.
We also got a couple of gambling halls here too. That might be if he had a gambling problem, maybe she's from this gambling hall.
Yep. And it was mentioned, you guys did hear mentioned, it still floats.
Yeah, I looked that up. It said it was just cheap boats.
Yeah. Let's see. Yep, it still floats. Cheap boats and ships. But apparently he used to hang out down there. I don't know.
And it's what time in the evening?
Right now it's probably 7:30ish, maybe going on 8. Let me see. I actually have a little clock running. It's about 7:45 in the evening as the crow flies.
Still seems early for
it's still a little early, but
habitual gambler, drinker. You know, he's probably like just waking up. I'll post up here at the Parrot.
Okay.
And just keep an eye out for him.
Okay. All right. Anybody else got anything?
No, I mean, if we're not going to do anything else besides just sit here, I'm going to probably head back to the last ditch.
All right. So Forge, as people sort of wander and go about doing their thing, you wind up at the Velvet Hatch. You step in, and as you step in, it's a place after a dwarf's own heart. It's very Spartan in nature. It smells heavily of piss and ale. The girls inside, while scantily clad, some of them probably should not be scantily clad.
Beautiful.
And as you step in, a rather matronly looking woman, round in all the right places with her hair done up in a rather high bun, sort of silver streaked black hair, as she comes in. We don't get too many dwarfs in this place. Welcome, Master Dwarf. I am Shirley. I shall be your hostess this evening. Is there something that we may provide for you this evening? We have many girls who are stout and able to handle whatever the stone bringers are able to give.
Oh, I can give a lot.
Hey, real fast, I didn't realize that brothel was right across the road, so I'll probably go with the dwarf in here just to look for Elvira.
Okay, that's fair. And as she looks up, she goes,
Gage will remain inside the spot he's in right now.
Okay, so Gage and Marmot are hanging out in the bar, whilst Forge and Edelbrock go across to the Velvet Hatch. As she looks up, and she sort of, your perception easily notices that she gives Edelbrock a disapproving look.
I just kind of ignore her anyway. I'm just scanning through the crowd.
Okay. You scan through the crowd, and while you don't see Elvira, something catches your attention almost as much as she would. You see an individual with a mug of ale in his hand talking to one of the blonde-haired girls, but you can see the definite signs of a snake tattoo that starts at his neck and disappears down his body.
I lean down and tell Forge it's a dragon.
Maybe we should keep an eye on her.
Do I by any chance happen to know what Pinkus might look like?
No, you've never heard or seen, or so you would not know. Not to say that he hasn't been to this place. Sorry, you're cutting out, May. Sorry.
I'm sorry. Do I have a description of the one that roughed up Elvira?
Yes.
Does it look like this fella?
No. This fellow's short and squat. The other guy was a little taller, a little beefier, and had sort of a Tom Selleck kind of a mustache, sort of a thick mustache like that. Looked more like this guy looks kind of like maybe a dock worker or something. The guy that you had the description seemed to be more of a foreman or something like maybe a bosun or a quartermaster on a ship or something like that. Somebody with a little muscle and beef to him, a little authoritativeness, if you will. This guy just seems sort of a squat, nobody, kind of a dock worker.
Okay. With that, I kind of, actually pay attention to the lady that was giving me a dirty look and ask if she has anyone here named Elvira.
Elvira, what an interesting name. I would remember that, but no, I am sorry. Any one of these girls here could be Elvira for you if that is your thing. They could be whatever you want, my dear.
Are any of these girls around the age of 15?
Surely not. How dare you ask? We run a reputable business here. While we have younger girls that do tasks such as maid work and cleaning and serving of drinks and whatnot, at no time would any of our girls ever be involved in something that is like that. No, sir.
I give this lady a real sinister look, smile, I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And then I turned to Forge and said, I'll leave you to it.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Forge, anything particular that you want to
Yeah, I
discuss?
described this fiance
Mm-hmm.
to her, and I said, this is my type.
We don't have anything like that here. However, does the hair have to be her own? Are you okay if she wears wigs? We could certainly dress up a young girl just to your liking.
Parrot. And I turn around and I stomp out.
All right. All right. As you stomp out, where do you go?
At this point, I think I'm going to just wander around the neighborhood here a little bit and just kind of peer and peek out for things.
Okay, go ahead and give me a perception check as you walk down the street toward the end of Shadow Shore, heading back toward the gondola or whatever the case may be. As you you make your way back down the way you came, because that's just, you know that area a little bit. You work your way, you get right around where the gondola station is, and right next to it, you can see there's a whole slew of boats sort of tied up along the edge of this long pier. A lot of them looking like they've seen better days. But interestingly enough, working on a fishing net, standing on the dock, working on a fishing net, is a dwarf.
Anything notable about the dwarf?
He's old. There's lanterns sort of hanging up, so you can see that he's dressed as someone who is familiar with sea life. And other than that, no, I mean, he's just sort of.
Yeah, I want to go up to him and greet him in dwarfish and say, I haven't seen any of my other dwarfs that like the sea like me.
As you get up and he sort of looks, and he has the look of someone who always has a scowl on his face. His brows are naturally pointed down, giving him sort of this scowly kind of a look. He's got a thick, heavy beard, salt and pepper, and you can see blackened soot along the corners of his mouth where a pipe likely hangs more times than not. His undershirt that he wears is pretty thin and worn, like it's seen better days, and he doesn't have a bunch of clothes to kind of swap out with, so this one gets used a lot. But over the top of that, he has this greasy kind of a leather apron tied around him. He goes,
"Aye, it's just another good day here in this God's forsaken place. What brings you here, brother dwarf? I am Panchy Ironwolf, proprietor of this magnificent establishment you now find yourself."
Well, lovely it is. I love the sea. I like sailing, and this is a great place for it.
Aye,
as he sort of waves his arm out,
any one of these fine vessels would be suitable for the king or the queen herself, but I can offer you a fair price if you're truly looking to want to sail the seas. You have your pick of the lot.
I will keep that in mind for my next trip.
And where would your next trip be taking yins?
That I haven't figured out yet. We kind of go as the tide.
I've known that look before. That's never a good sign. You need to have focus, boy. You need to have direction. You need to figure what you want and go for it. Don't let the tides of the moon wash you back and forth, else you're going to wind up here working with me with this fine establishment, as I have said.
Doesn't seem that bad to be working with a fellow.
Well, some folk that you work with are okay. Others, dwarves, they got the natural spirit to work. But the humans and the others, no. I've had
Lazy
my
goblins.
the goblins for sure. If they're not working, they're stealing it. So I know exactly. If you're ever looking for work, I've lost one of my boys recently, and I can always use a good hand. You got a name?
How'd you lose one of your boys?
Oh, Pankus, the stupid klutz. Haven't seen him in almost a week now.
Wonder what happened to him. But
I
by the
don't-
way, I am Forge Flintfire.
Forged Flint Fighter, as I said, I am Penchy Iron Dwarf. I don't know. Pankus is a drinker. Heard he got in some argument with that Vanderboren boy, and then they went off on some expedition and whatever, and he hasn't been back. I imagine he probably found his fortune and is sitting somewhere over in the Azure District, snorting some drug and whispering about old Penchy and the good old days that he had here, but I have no clue. Said something about going off to Parrot Island with a big score or something, I don't know.
You have a good fishing night.
I
I'll see you again soon. If I just happen to see this young man, I'll tell him that you're asking
Oh,
about
don't do that. It'll make his head swell and think I care about him.
it. Is he worth caring about?
He's shit. But labor's labor. You get out of him what you can, pay him as little as possible, and then be done with him.
That is the way.
All right, that is the way. Good nights to you.
Well, Matt, and have a good night.
All right, you too, sir.
I'm gonna start heading back to the Rusty Pirate now, and
Okay.
with that information,
Okay.
to get with the others and tell them, well, we might need to take a little trip to Parrot Island and do a little searching.
So just so you know, the rest of your party is
Kind of scattered.
yeah. So I mean, you can always gather tomorrow if that's what you want to do.
Gage will probably head home at around 8, 9 o'clock at the latest.
Okay. All right. So
Or
unless
if Mormont
Yeah.
leaves, he'll leave too.
okay.
When I go into the last ditch, I'm going to ask Kira if she has found any information before I head to my room.
No, I've asked everybody I know. I have not heard anything about any of them. So it's just like she just disappeared.
Does she know where her? Do you know where her homestead used to be?
I just know that she came. She used to be on a farm to the south. I'm not 100% sure on where it was or what it was. I just know that she came and she, I think Silas Crow found her on the streets and he brought her to us. So lucky thing that he did. He could have given her to any of the other places who wouldn't have treated her like we do. Heaven forbid she should have ended up down the street. Everybody knows what they do to the young girls down the street.
And then I'll probably check in with Whisper too.
Okay.
If he looks free.
Yeah.
I go to the barkeep, tavern keep at the Parrot, and
Yep.
I would leave a message for Vanderboren I mean, he seemed to frequent the place, so I figure I might as well try to bait him. I'll leave a note. Simple, mysterious note says, "She knows. ... Find Mormont, rusty pirate."
Okay. As you hand it to the barkeep,
And I'll give him a gold for good measure to ensure.
as he sort of half smiles, sets the mug down, looks at the note. Oh, will you look at that? A little halfling can write. Isn't that good? What's it say? I can't read. What's it say?
Don't worry about reading it. Just give it to Vanderboren.
Oh, right. Gotcha. And who's Vanderboren then, eh?
Oh, I thought he was like one of your locals. He's like the rich boy.
Oh, the pink. You mean
with
Pink?
the little giggly.
Oh,
yeah.
With Pincus's big friend. Okay, yeah, I know who you're talking about. Hey, oh, it's been a few days since I've seen him. Okay, well, yeah, for sure, no problem. Little halfling, I got it for you. And he sort of wads it up and sticks it in his shirt. You could see that.
If he receives a note, I'll come back and give you another gold.
What? I'll make sure of it then, eh? Good talk, eh?
And off to the Rusty Pirate.
All right. And with that, we cut scene. Everybody give yourselves a long rest as you all travel to your respective domiciles.
Oh yeah, I forgot I took a whooping from that cobra.
I didn't forget about my whooping.
Got everybody? Oops. What you heading back for, man?
Because I'm doing my study.
All right. So, everybody give themselves. Oh, let me give the. I guess I should give Haycon a long rest.
Yeah, rely on the party to come and get me if there's anything important.
So everybody had their long rest.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. As you gather in the morning at the Rusty Pirate, we're going to take a break. Because I got to go pee. We'll be back. I'm going to do...
know NASCAR has a few of those, and I enjoy watching those when they show up. But I know that they almost usually have the oval or the loop. But when they do, when they have their circuits, they're good.
And we're back.
Welcome back.
Hello, everybody.
Did
Welcome
you enjoy
back.
your bathroom break?
I did. It was one of my most favorite times of this game tonight so far, I got to say. I appreciate everybody that's been hanging out with us. I'm Sean, your host. Don't forget, you still have time to get some Nat 20s in or Nat 1s in if you want to drop something on the party. As the game winds on, we got about 45 minutes left. Let's see what we can see. The following morning, you all slowly drag yourself into the Rusty Pirate. The establishment is as it always is. Actually, why don't I do this?
You just got a natural 20 and a natural 1.
I did?
Yep, from Hub Harry.
Hey, let me see. Oh, what's up, Hub? You are the man. I got me a Nat 1. And so that is Hub, our harefoot halfling on our 1E game. Appreciate you, Ron Dog. So now I'm going to have to give myself one of those and one of those as well. And so I like it. I definitely appreciate it. Oh, I see. The 20 was for the players and that one's for me. Damn, here I was.
So Gage has what, 2 20s now?
No. I need everybody to roll a D20 for me, please, and the highest roll gets the D Nat 20. Or I could just give it to Edelbrock because everybody else has one and he doesn't.
Somebody beats a 20.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with giving it Edelbrock though.
They get released. Where is my board? There we are. All right. Looks like Marmot gets himself another Nat 20.
Because I will never roll another one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly right. Somewhere in here, I thought I probably took it off of my list of maps, which is kind of stupid. No, I didn't. Where is it? There it is. Ta-da.
Just quick question. There's a bunch of different magic shops in this city.
Yeah, I don't play any of
that.
that. I don't play any of that. Most of those, I mean, I can go look through and see. There might be a way that I do some things, but I don't like sell magic items. I don't do any of that stuff or whatnot. But
Yeah, I was just curious about a pair of sending stones.
yeah, I may look into doing that. That might be an interesting take or something. But
there are some items that are implied to be very, very common, if not so expensive. But at the same time, I feel magic is common enough that like a shop that sells scrolls for like level 1 spells would be common in large cities.
yeah, you can say that, but I've never been one of that
Oh,
thought.
yeah.
So but
That's
anyway.
my 2 cents.
Yep. No, and that's totally understandable and totally fair. And I may bend rules or something or change something and build out an actual magic shop. But as of right now, I don't have anything off the top of my head built. So, anyway, everybody's there except obviously Edelbrock, because Edelbrock is doing his morning thing back at his morning thing place. As you all are gathered here at the Rusty Pirate, the establishment is, as always, a little bit busy, even in the early morning, as sailors are getting ready to go on their shift, or dock workers are getting ready to go on their shift, and other people are getting ready to do their thing throughout the day. You're all seated there, and you all notice coming through the front door an individual who probably wouldn't like, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, wouldn't draw attention in any other place. It's typical sort of a panhandler look. His clothes are disheveled, his hands are dirty, his hair's unkempt. And yet, as he comes in, he's like looking around, almost in a paranoid kind of a way. Marmot, you recognize it, or you pick up on it immediately. These mannerisms of somebody who looks a little uncomfortable being where they are at the moment for whatever reason. And he glances around the room and he sees Forge, and his eyes just sort of stop wandering around. And you can see him sort of take a little bit of a deep breath, and he starts walking toward the table. And he stops in front of the table where you guys all are. Excuse me. I'm looking for Mr. Forge Flintfire. Would he be you?
You have found him.
Yes, my name is Shefton Roxo. I'm told you're looking for someone whom I may or may not have information as to his whereabouts, depending upon the persuasive or the generous mood in which you find yourself.
I'm more generous when I don't haggle.
Yes, well,
Spit it out.
So I believe that I can tell you for the right price where Mr. Penkus and Mr. Vanderboren may be, at least according to the last place that I heard they were going.
And what's the price you're looking for?
5 gold.
$2 gold, and if your information pans out, I'll give you 4 more.
His eyes kind of light. Oh. Well, I suppose I can do that. Oh yes. 2 gold. I tell you, and when you find him and discuss your business with him, then you will know that I am honest, and then I will accept your 4 additional gold.
Slide 2 gold across the table.
He reaches to grab.
Keeping my hand on it.
Oh. As he goes to reach and you don't move your hand, he sort of wiggles his fingers as if he was just reaching to stretch. You know how he kind of like, I'm going to do this. Oh, no, I'm not. But I was really just kind of be stretching my fingers and kind of doing that. He kind of does one of those things he's like, yeah, never mind. Yes.
Where is he going and when should he be there?
So I believe that they're already there. I don't know if have you ever heard of what Parrot Island really was?
Enlighten me.
So back in the day, smugglers used to use Parrot Island because it has sea caves underneath it. And so there used to be pirates that would work out of Parrot Island, and one day I believe it collapsed underneath and much of it was flooded, and so it no longer served use for the pirates. But Penkus says that he and Mr. Vanthus have found caves that are not flooded that are still able to be used. So Penkus is very much in the smuggling trade, and I believe he is trying to make contracts with the Lotus Dragon. And he kind of looks around like, did anybody hear me say that? And they say that they're going to be building a base down there with Vanthus's money, or Vanderboren's money, I mean.
Okay. Tell me exactly where on the island, and here's your 2 gold.
As he takes it, well, it's not difficult. Once you get onto the shore, you have to follow the trails, and they lead up through some animal trails up toward the top. And then if you go left by the rock cropping, and then it sort of swoops down and eventually sort of flattens out just a little. And then you can see some of the old cypress trees. They're still, can you believe that they're still clinging to life even without much water? But right past the small grove of the cypress, you can see that there is a large stone outcrop where there is a hole that was a shaft was made long time ago, and there is a ladder that goes down into where the old pirate tunnels are, and they're down there. I don't know where once you get down there, but I know it's not huge, so wherever they are, I'm sure men of your ilk would be easy enough to find them.
Come back here in 5 days. You'll pick up the rest of your gold.
Okay. If you're sure. Okay, sure. Yeah. 5 days. Okay. Yes, sir. I will be back. Thank you. And he grabs his coin and hightails it out of there as quickly as he got there.
I gotta raise 2 more gold up here. I'm gonna tell everybody what I learned from the other dwarf about and Pankus, as well as those that have just heard what happened anyway. So
right. Great.
Guess now is a good time to ask if there was any work in my brothel I needed to do.
Oh, I apologize. No, there is not. It was a quiet evening. Although Mira and Kira come to do their daily devotional, they just apparently like when you rub salve on them or something, I guess. I don't know for sure.
You all glance over and see Gage had been writing all that down.
But yeah, no, they're quiet evening. No real ruckuses. None of the girls need any tending to. Thomas sort of grunts at you as you walk by and goes back to his snoring in his corner.
So with that, I guess I arrived late now.
Okay. So you arrive probably an hour after what has transpired. So it's probably about I'm going to say 9:30 by the time you are able to cross the water and catch up with your fellow party members. As you step in, you see that they are all seated around the table, finishing their breakfast, having discussions about what you don't know.
Edelbrock, what are the details on this Elvira you're looking for?
She's a 15-year-old human girl. They all kind of look the same to me.
Well, I mean...
No. She was beaten by one Lotus. I'm just trying to find her.
Oh, what was her description?
What was that?
What was her description?
I don't actually remember.
Yeah.
It was a black hair. I don't remember. It was shortish black hair. I don't remember if it was straight or wavy though.
Let me see. I think I had. I don't know
I
why.
just put her name down. I don't have a description of her.
Give me a second. I thought I had a description here, but let's.
She was a dark skin. I do remember that. Like she came from the jungles.
Let's see if
that'd be enough to roll the story forward. I was just looking to convey this info to Silk if she was around. Try to help the party out and tap my sources.
I had some notes on her. I'm just wondering what the hell I did with them. It's like I've got so many different little notes that I put together, and I need to start coordinating and putting all this together in one spot so that I won't.
well, the party has enough. Edelbrock has enough information that Gage could write that down, right? Regardless of whether or not we
here
have
it
it
is.
on hand.
Here it is.
Oh, there it is.
Elvira is a small, thin. Elvira is a small, thin, 15-year-old girl with sun-bleached light brown hair, usually kept in a simple braid, scattered freckles, and wide hazel eyes that dart around rooms nervously. She currently bears the signs of visible signs of a recent beating, a fading black eye, a healing split lip, bruises on her arms and ribs with a slight limp. She has calloused hands and lean build of a farm girl, but now looks pale and hollow-eyed from stress and poor conditions. In the brothel, she wears ill-fitting, overly mature clothing to make her appear even younger and more out of place. And you know from experience, Edelbrock, that she is rather soft-spoken, has sort of a kind of a hillbilly accent, if you will, sort of an accent of an outsider, not from town, but more from out in the wilds. But you know that she's pretty stubborn, but she is very perceptive. She's always like got her eyes watching and doesn't miss much.
One thing you guys have kind of noticed after being around me for a while is I do tend to refer to the women of the brothel as my clan. Not like the bouncers or anything like that, just the women.
Yep.
Okay, Pimp Daddy.
So
No, you probably get the assumption that I'm probably protecting them.
Nope.
In some weird way, like
It's like a pimp.
Well,
Yeah.
except he doesn't.
But you don't get paid.
But yeah, I was gonna say, but he doesn't get any of the money from the pimping, but he gets all the attitude. Gets all the attitude, and yeah, he's got
to.
yeah, he gets all the attitude and heartache from it, but he doesn't get any of the money. So
would
anyway,
Silk be up and about. At the
so yes, I am gonna say that morning as you're eating, you happen to see Silk just kind of slip in, and she goes to her regular table or whatever, just minding her own business as if she doesn't even notice that you're there, but heavy hooded cloak over, sitting down, sipping on her drink and eating whatever she normally orders.
I would gesture towards her that I would like her attention without trying to draw attention.
He doesn't even notice, but you watch as she does the typical thieves hand motions and gestures of sign language that says feel free.
Just assume that's her table and I'll
Wherever.
saunter over.
Well, yeah, wherever you want. You can pick her favorite table. It's fine. As she doesn't even seem to take notice as she's like sort of scarfing her eggs and swallowing down juice or ale or whatever it is that she's got. She grunts a greeting.
Do you know his contact?
So you've seen him talk to this person before, but you don't know who it is. It's just somebody that he seems to have an affinity for, or this person has an affinity for him. Never met. You're pretty sure she's female just because of her form, but her clothes don't really give it away, right? And you've never really like seen her straight on the face. She's always kind of looking down, turning away, kind of like she knows where people are looking from, and she does everything she can to avoid getting a good description of her. So
I'll sit there in silence as she eats, and I'll slowly like stroke my hands down the iron cobra that I'm still wearing.
As she she eats and she looks up and she just kind of glances up.
Yeah, and as I'm stroking it, I'm also throwing thieves' cant, nonchalantly, so nobody picks up our conversation. And I would ask her, yeah, what you think? Nice. And I would like to trade for information and equipment.
Yeah. As she she stops, smacks her lips a little. Where the fuck did you get that? Literally out loud. Where the fuck did you get that? And that's the first time you've ever heard her speak. It's always been thieves' cant. It's always been more eye contact or head gestures or body gestures. She literally is like stunned that where the fuck did you get that? And that kind of catches you off guard.
I'll speak to her and say, well, I punched the owner in the ass and she gifted it to me.
She looks and she chuckles. So you're saying you punched somebody in the ass and they shit a snake?
That is actually insanely accurate, too.
He's a goblin. He keeps it short and sweet. But I'd revert back to thieves' cant.
As she sort of chuckles and flashes the, what do you want?
I'd convey the info for Elvira, letting her know that my tall goblin friend is interested in saving and protecting her, and give her all the physical descriptions, let her know that she's had an encounter with the Lotus Dragons.
As soon as you kind of flash the Lotus Dragon, she stops, her head looks up, and her eyes squint. And she immediately signs bad news. That was it. And then she goes right back to what she was doing. Meaning that, not that she has bad news, but that the Lotus Dragons are bad news, I should say.
Okay. I'll cant her a short list of things that I'm hoping to procure with some trade from this construct.
Okay.
And I'll shoot you the list.
Yep.
Because I want to be sneaky.
Okay.
But I'll slide it off onto the table and give it a good pat. And
as before you go, as you're sort of moving away, she says, "It's too bad it's metal. You could take it to a taxidermist and have it mounted on a plaque for you." And she sort of chuckles.
I'll cant back to her. Just knowing I killed it is trophy enough.
As you,
even though I didn't kill it.
She doesn't know that.
That's right.
She just knows you punch somebody's ass and they shit a snake. All right.
Still in the moment, I'll join the table and I'll momentarily start to cant at Edelbrock, and then I'll just wave my hands like no. She says it's bad news.
Actually, when you start doing that, I start making weird hand motions back at you.
Oh no, the whole entire party's throwing up gang signs.
I'll let him know that she said it's bad news that she had a run-in with the LDs, but I'll see what she can source for us.
That's why I'm more concerned with finding her. I need to make sure she's hidden.
All right.
Yeah. Well, if anybody can find her, I think Silk can, and we'll I'll let you know.
Yeah, her days at the brothel are over, I believe.
Oh, okay. All right. So as you are all now gathered, Edelbrock has just arrived, so he doesn't know anything about the encounter with Shefton, the nervous half-elf that you guys were speaking to earlier. So if anybody wants to catch him up to speed.
Yeah, we'll bring him up to speed.
Actually, I would have probably asked them when I came in if they picked up any news after I left them last night. Or any further information.
Yep. Anybody want to relay it? We can do that officially, or are you just going to do it the coward's way and say, we tell them everything we said?
There you are, Edelbrock. He is going to slide his notes over we had someone come in and speak to Forge over here. Seems the brother was spotted with, I forgot the guy's name.
Pincus.
I couldn't write it down.
Pincus.
What?
Pincus.
How do you spell that?
Penkus. Pincus.
The brother was seen with a man named Pincus near or on Parrot Island. Apparently, some of the caves there might still be usable, and it looks like he's getting up into smuggling. There's a rumor that he might be working with the Black Lotus, but that is not really confirmed.
There was a Black Lotus member in that other brothel me and Forge went to last night.
So they're popping up everywhere in this city now.
Are they really a Thieves Guild or is it another cult?
It's a thieves guild as far as I know.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're definitely
Well,
bad news.
is this something that the town guard can assist with, or is this something that's gonna be handled with much more subtlety?
I don't have issues with the Lotus outside of whatever this Vanderboren has dealings with and Elvira.
Well, if the brother is working with the Lotus, that means that our client is now in the thick of their business, as well as the
Also
girl.
means they have all our money.
What's that?
Yes. It means they have all our money.
Yeah, yeah.
So, no matter what, if we intend to keep working for Miss Vanderboren, we will have to end up dealing with the Black Lotus, most certainly. If we want to keep looking for this girl of yours, we're also going to have to deal with them.
As aggressive they are over in the Shadow Shores, we're going to deal with them one way or the other anyway.
Go
So
knock some
again,
heads.
Is this something that we can potentially have the town guard assist us with, or use them to take some of the load and danger off of ourselves, or is it something that we should probably handle more quietly?
Where
Say
the
quietly.
Lotus
Who
is
knows who's in whose pocket?
In regards to what the Lotus is, the town guard is either unable or unwilling to interfere with their business.
So at the bare minimum, they're being bribed to look the other way at best. At worst,
That would be
they're
my
working
guess.
with them. Yeah. Especially if they have Vanderboren's coffers, then they have the money to bribe the guard.
Yeah, I don't think that the guards are working with them unless it's like a smaller group of them, maybe in certain sector like Shadow Shore. I could be wrong on that.
An informant or two, but not the full system. I understand. So it's just us. Lovely 5 individuals.
Also, they're very secretive too, so we do not know how large they are.
I can try to ask.
Do you have the description of the one you saw?
Yeah, I relayed the description of him, and he was talking to a blonde lady, and then also gave a description of the one that roughed up Elvira.
Yep.
Okay. Are they the same person?
No, they're two different ones.
Okay.
The one that roughed up Elvira looked like he might have been working on a deck or a bosun or something. And the other one, I don't remember what the other guy was.
Yeah, he was it was sort of short and squat, more like a dock worker. You know, the other guy was more authoritative looking, had that Tom Selleck kind of vibe to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. So where to from here? We still have a few minutes of game time left. We can. What do we want to do?
Oh,
We know
right
where
now we're kind of
We know where
we know where
Vanderboren.
Vanderboren.
Yeah.
Correct, and we should get to him sooner than later.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
We're gonna need to look at this a bit carefully, though. I don't think we should go charging head-on into this.
Well, I think we have two options right now. We can either keep hanging out at the Shadow Shore, seeing if we can run into either Vanderboren or Pincus, or maybe we snag a random Lotus that we find. Or the other option would be to go investigate the island.
Investigating the island is definitely something that we want to do, but we want to be careful with that. We don't want to get caught with our pants down.
Yeah, it's pretty. It is a pretty sparse island. Like I said, it's just like a big rock covered with a bunch of trees and shrubs. The whole western side is pretty high cliffs, like 30-foot, 40-foot cliffs all the way around that side, but it sort of slopes down along the east. So you could easily get a boat up on the eastern shore and then kind of work your way up onto the island itself. So it's pretty easy to access. It's not like, and again, like I explained before, it's not like a place that everybody goes to all the time. It's relatively empty and isolated and unused. So at any time of the day or night, really. Again, like I said, the occasional banger going on over there, but for the most part, it's folks just don't even go to it. The gondolas don't make trips there usually. You know, I'm sure they can if you wanted them to, but it's not like one of their trade routes or anything like that.
And y'all said he was using this cash to build a hideout on that island?
Could be.
It's a possibility. We don't know what he was using the cash for. All we know is he pulled it out for a honeymoon or something, or something. He put it out for his marriage, however legitimate that might be. What I'm concerned is he is being manipulated either through just a very silver tongue or magic. Though honestly, from what it sounds like, a silver tongue might work just as well.
Or he's just the ass to begin with.
What's the possibility that this lady is another noble from another noble family, and this is a dowry?
Very possible.
Could be. Could be a lot of things. Only one way to find out. Where are we going to go?
Well, I would suggest that we make a dusk trip
If we're going to
the
Parrot Island,
Okay.
if we're going to the island, we need to make sure we have everything that we need to do so in case there are some members there hiding out.
All right.
I
So we
guess
just.
it's going to be a preliminary scouting of the island.
All right. So we're going to go.
I'm so sorry about that.
We're going to go. I'm sorry. I must have missed something. Are we going now, or are we going to wait till tonight and go check it out? I must have missed something in between.
We're going to wait.
Yeah, I was
for
going to say
tonight and then go.
Yeah, I was going to agree with Mormon and go at night.
Okay. So we will fast forward then. As the remainder of the day transpires relatively quickly, as you guys make your preparations, it's around getting close to 7 at night as the sun is beginning to make its trail over the western horizon and the shadows begin to get long. You guys find yourselves once again at the gondola station over on in the why is my map? Oh, it's because I'm clicking on the wrong thing. So you guys find yourself over at the gondola station on the Sassarine map. By the way, you guys know you can switch between maps, right? Any of the maps you can switch between at any time, even though
You did have it.
even though I
Okay.
even though I activate certain maps and make it the default map when you log in and stuff, and what I'm showing on stream, you guys actually have access to go to whatever maps are available to you. So in this
cool.
case,
Okay.
in this case, it's the region and Sassarine are two that you can always go to. But you guys find yourselves headed back to find yourselves headed back to the gondola station. Actually, our illustrious paladin is not going. For the cost of 2 gold pieces, you are able to rent a gondola to take you to Parrot Island.
And wait there until we come back, right?
What's that?
They're going to wait on the island to bring us back?
They're actually renting you the boat.
Okay.
For 2 gold.
Oh my God. We're not going to have another one of those episodes with the...
Nah, I won't be a dick. I just did that to kill time last time. You guys find yourselves traversing the water, and it takes you until about 8 o'clock that night as the sun has really set and it is very dark. Or I should say it is dark out now. You find yourselves as your skiff slides up along the shore, and you find yourself on the eastern edge of Parrot Island. As I said, it's kind of sandy, rocky, low sawgrass area here. The island itself swoops up toward the west, becoming higher and more rocky. The island itself is only about 30 or 40 feet tall at most, and on the western side, it's all cliffs that drop off on the other side, right? But the island itself has many different small trails that kind of lead its way up onto the upper half of the island. So you kind of have sort of directions that Shefton gave you guys on how to find the place. Somebody give me a survival check to see if you can follow directions to wherever it is you guys need to go.
My survival is a +1.
We're at dusk with
+1.
darkness. No sun.
+4.
Hang on a sec. What was that, Mormont?
We're here at dark, at dusk.
That is correct, sir.
Okay. As soon as we beach, slip out of the sand, or slip out of the boat, and become one with the shadows.
All right. Go ahead and give me a high. Oh, look at there. I like it. Oh.
Hey, go Mormont. I can't see him.
I love it. As you guys begin to move your way, Forge, with the mental mind of an iron trap, leads you guys slowly but surely along the path that was described from Shefton. Eventually, you find yourselves pretty much in the middle of the island, although nobody knows what the hell happened to Mormont as he blends into everything around you guys. Eventually, you come up to this flattened area, and you can see almost like this built-up stone chimney that's about 10 feet square or 5 feet square, and it has a hinged lid on it.
Has this been the only man-made structure we've seen so far?
Yeah, that is correct. The only thing that looks anything close to being man-made. It is dark. It is quiet. Say again?
Has a hinged lid. Does it look like it has a lock or anything to it?
No, it just looks like it's hinged on one side, and but there's no latch or anything. It looks like maybe just to keep stuff from going down the tunnel or down the tube or whatever. But it is a rather big metal cover, right? Probably about 5 feet square of iron or metal.
Gage, is he an elf or a human?
I am a human.
Yep.
So I guess it'll be me and the dwarf needs to scout around, see if there's anything else in this general area.
I will stay close, but I won't. I can summon lights, but I won't do that unless I have to. It is dark out there, and we don't want to be seen.
I would like to burn.
That's where I'm going.
I'd like to burn one of my nat 20.
Okay.
For survival to check for recent activity and signs of blah blah blah.
Okay. As Mormont searches around, he finds that there definitely looks like there have been tracks here recently, as recently as a day ago. There are tracks around and signs and indications that somebody's been here within the past few days.
All right, that's my perception check. See if there's anything around this hatch.
Yeah, very, very similar. You find that this looks like it's been used. It's been here for quite some time, but it looks like recent use. It looks like you see there's a lot of rust around everywhere, but the hinges look like they've been cleaned and greased to make it look, or to make it more probably easier to move or whatever. So it looks like somebody's definitely been doing work, even though this whatever's been here has been here for quite some time. And you definitely get the impression that there's been somebody here within the past few days.
I look around trying to see if I can find any signs of Mormont, and I kind of like make a waving gesture to us.
Okay. Mormont, you can see that Edelbrock is out there kind of waving his hands.
And to a shadow just to the side of Edelbrock, I'll whisper, "I'm right here, dumbass."
As you hear a whispering sound come from your right-hand side. I'm right here, dumbass.
Well, then, would you mind checking the hatch, making sure it's not trapped before we open it?
Oh, all right.
With those goblin fingers to use.
I'll use my... Do I have 220s?
You have one more left, yes.
I'll use it since it will expire to search for traps.
Okay. Before you do, I am going to say, because we got them almost over 3/4 of the way through, I was going to let these nat 1s and 20s carry over to next stream. So if you want to check before you use it, absolutely. If you want to use it after that, absolutely.
I'll check before I use it. Does that be sleight of hand for me? Or investigation?
Investigation. As you quickly search around, you find no indication of any trap whatsoever. You see that there is a rope ladder attached on the other side that goes down into the shaft.
I'll pull out one of my flasks of oil and pour it over the hinges just in case it squeaks when we go to open it.
I'm going to ritual cast my detect magic. Is there any sort of glyph or magic?
There, you spend about 10 minutes, and the spell goes off, and you see no indication whatsoever of anything.
So I kind of nod towards Mormont to, like he can go and open it.
Yeah, I think I need help opening this giant metal grate. I'm a goblin.
I'm going to lift it.
Gage will assist if needed.
Autobot should just stand back and watch.
Yeah,
I'm
so
gonna
Gage will assist the road advantage.
slowly lift the hatch up and kind of see if there's any light sources down below.
Okay, you lift it up. It sort of rattles just a little bit, but you hear a little, but very, very faint, and you see no light indication. And finally, you lift it all the way. Looking down, you can see there is as I said, a shaft that's about 5 feet square or so that descends into darkness.
Is the dwarf going to fit in this?
Your eyes adjust, and those with the vision can see it descends about 40 feet before it empties into a chamber below.
Mormont, you're up.
You said there's no lights coming out from down there.
That is correct. No lights.
All right, well, I'm going to retry my stealth roll.
I'll do an advantage on that and save my nat 20.
Okay. A little better.
Yeah, a lot better. Oh, shit, that was sleight of hand. I'm sorry.
It's all right. It still would have been I still go with 18. Your sleight of hand is going to be the same as your stealth, right?
Yeah.
And dexterity.
Yeah.
So it's still an 18.
Who's entering second? I wouldn't be going down second.
Yeah, I
I
will.
guess the dwarf will go down second. But I'm going to wait for Mormont to go down there and make sure the area is clear.
What armor are you wearing by chance?
Chain.
Me or him?
Okay, so you're in heavy, so yeah, you're not stealthy.
Nope. That's why I said, Mormont, you're up.
Yep. I'll scurry down the ladder and reconnoiter the bottom.
You get down to the bottom and you see
Great
that
hit the bottom.
Yep, there is the chamber that the chamber is the rope ladder, I should say, ends in this chamber that's about 15 feet square, and there's a small winding tunnel that leads off of it, leading into the interior of the place. There is some old wet grass and seaweed and a little bit of mildew and mustiness down here, but other than that, it appears empty.
Throw a perception to listen,
Okay.
just to make sure before I bring them down.
Okay. As you carefully listen to the sounds that are going on within the place, you hear nothing but the sound of your own heartbeat. Like a
I'll
boom, boom,
give
boom, boom.
them the all clear thieves can't, and then I'll realize they don't speak thieves can't, and I'll motion them down.
Okay.
All right, I'm going
And
to
the
climb
dwarf
down.
that
Yep.
follow down
Gage will
after
go
the
down too.
dwarf, and then that's where I have Gage as a meat shield on the other side of me.
Okay. As you guys all descend the rope ladder, as I said, you wind up at the bottom of this shaft. It's about a 5-foot shaft, and then eventually it opens into a 15-foot wide, about 8-foot high, relatively worked room. It's still dirty stone and / sandy floor. The walls are stone and whatnot. They're rough, although semi-man-made. As you get to the bottom, though, you hear a cry of pain from above. And then, as you look up, you see something come tumbling through the opening at the top. Jumping out of the way, you are all, you immediately, not immediately, but you realize that there's a body falling through the hole above. A second later, the body of Shefton lands at the base of the ladder. And you hear a cackling sort of,
Tell Pankus I said hi.
and suddenly the rope ladder itself collapses into the room below, and you hear a sickening slamming shut of the metal root or the metal trap door that you guys opened above. And that is where we're going to end tonight's game.
Gage looks at the room and goes, "We're gonna be late to breakfast."
Who's Shuckus?
Shefton.
Who's Shefton?
Yeah, Shefton. Yeah,
Shefton's
no.
the guy that told us about this.
Yep. And
You're 2 gold.
weird.
Yeah,
Why
I'm
is
going
it-
to search him for my 2 gold back.
Wondering why my map isn't loading again. Maybe it's because I had it on. I paused the game or something. I was trying to load the map so you guys can see what the.
No,
There we go.
On the, in
I
the
can
room.
see it.
Yeah, I know you got, but I couldn't see it on my thing. But some of you, Gage might not. Gage might not be able to see because Gage doesn't have anybody that has infravision should be able to see the room. I think Gage is the only one that can't. But he
I
might.
see myself.
Yeah, Gage can see himself, but that's because. But anyway, that is where we are going to end tonight's game. I just wanted, I know I kind of pushed that a little bit, but I wanted to get you guys to this spot where we could end as, as the body of
That's fine.
Shefton.
That's fine.
And as you look at Shefton and you search him quickly, you do find your 1 gold.
Fine. Where's the other one?
I don't know. He probably
Fucker
spent
stole
it. But
Yeah, I
you
spent
you
what they stole
see
from-
You see that he has 3 deep wounds in his back, as if somebody just stabbed him in the back and shoved him down here. So the assumption is whoever he was up with at the top stabbed him in the back several times and then shoved his body down here to join you guys, and then closed
More or less, this was a trap.
the lid. And you heard the voice say, "Tell Penkus I said hi."
Now, real fast, you did say that there was like reeds or something on the ground here.
Yeah,
Does it
there.
look like some sort of nest or lair.
No, it looks just like naturally growing grass and stuff down here, seaweed and grass and stone and stuff. It doesn't look like anything unnatural or nesting.
Okay.
Cool. All right, folks. I appreciate everybody hanging out with us till the end. I appreciate you showing up on a Thursday, nonetheless.